badly, and Pat Riley was really angry when LeBron left the way he did. LeBron is still talking about the Heat culture 6 years out.
I think being around, Rouse and Spo, D-Wade and UD, just to name a few, being a part of that culture allowed me to grow, allowed me to see what it takes to not only compete for a championship, but also to win a championship. So it definitely, put me in a position where I knew what it took. I saw what it took, but also, I fit that culture as well because of how hard I worked. So it was a perfect match for those 4 years.
Amazing thing is everybody gets it. Everybody who has been within it, everybody who was within it and left. LeBron still talks about it. The only guy really confused by it is Dwanye. Dwanye is the only guy, and he should be the guy least confused by it. He's the one that spent the most time there. He's the one that got the 3 rings there. He's the one that they named a street after there. And yet, when asked on Twitter by Magic of all people who he's rooting for, Dwanye said, quote, "It's a win-win." He literally said that. It's a win-win. And Magic posed the question because, well, you did win 3 rings, but LeBron is your guy. So what are you going to do with that, Dwanye? Dwanye must have been like with his phone, man, I'm trapped. Irv got me. What do I do, man? I got nowhere to go. My back is to the wall. Well, I don't want to go on record with it. I don't want to alienate the organization that paid me $160 million that I won 3 rings with. Man, but I really don't want to get on the wrong side of Braun. I'll just call it a win-win. And I'll hedge by saying, we're up here in Heat Nation. Actually, Dwanye, that was a lose-lose. It was a terrible take, and you got hooked by Magic. So everybody understands the Heat culture, except for the guy who should understand it best of all, Dwanye. Game 1 tonight. Who you got? With the Capital One Venture Card, you can earn 100,000 bonus miles that you can actually use. Redeemable for vacation rentals, car rentals, and more when you spend $20,000 in your first year. So what's in your wallet? It's a limited time offer. Terms do apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. Great day in the jungle. We had Aaron Rodgers back in. We had John Morosi. We had Dan Wojcicki. We had a great beef segment. We had the ATP. The day continues. I am not done. When this show goes off the air, I am not done. There's still a lot of work to be done. I've got a Jim Rome podcast episode, which I'm going to push out. EP 145 on National Podcast Day, featuring the Mad Dog, Mark Madsen. Look for that a little bit later on. My thanks to the XR4 Ti. Thank you, Clone. See you later. We're out.
The big networks are afraid of Blitz, the new book by David Horowitz. President Trump just tweeted it's the hottest book of the 2020 election, and Blitz is now 10 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list, #1 on Amazon. Still, the big media and even Fox News won't talk about Blitz, but everyone else is. Rush Limbaugh says Blitz predicts a Trump landslide. Mike Huckabee says it reveals Trump's secret plan to win, and Mark Levin urges you to read it. Trump has a secret strategy and a big surprise coming for the billionaires behind radicals like Antifa. Newsmax calls Blitz Trump's roadmap to victory. Get Blitz at bookstores everywhere, or check out Newsmax's free offer for Blitz and save $28. Just call 800-NEWSMAX. That's 800-NEWSMAX. Or go to blitz411.com. Blitz411.com. Find out why everyone is talking about Blitz. Get it today.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Hi, this is Billy Parker, and football is here. Tailgate at home with family and friends this season and let Parker's Barbecue do all the cooking. While tailgating at your house, let us provide all the food with our delicious chicken, barbecue, seafood, and sides. We can customize packages for any size group, big or small. Give us a call today and place your order. Parker's and football, a winning combination. Also shipping nationwide at parkersbbq.com. Parker's Barbecue is how friends and family come together.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit delcorinc.com today.
Hey guys, listen up. The next 30 seconds is very important because we have an announcement. Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop to make you look good and thoughtful. This is Ashley at Shimmer Boutique. We specialize in men's and women's apparel and also carry the biggest selection of local hats and jewelry. From Yetis to Hey Dudes, this is the place for you. Did I mention we also have free gift wrapping? Come check us out at our new location on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks. Shimmer is your one-stop shop for the whole family, and we will always make your shopping experience easy and fun.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. We're Greenville Auto World, across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello everyone, welcome in to Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here on a Wednesday, coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are live online at pr927fm.com. You can watch us right now on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And we got a big show coming your way. Mike Mullis is going to join me about 30 minutes from now, talk about the Major League Baseball playoffs, as there are 3 games going on currently. I think another game about to get underway. I should let everyone know that the Braves and Reds have just gone to extra innings. It is scoreless, and I'm watching that game, and I'm doing my best to stay focused on my job here hosting Pirate Radio Live. But that is going on as we speak, and I am watching that 10th inning. Wager McGee will be here in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll talk about all the games going on in college football and the NFL this weekend. And then former ECU tight end Bryce Williams will join me in the Pirate Radio studios at 5 o'clock, and we'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles. So we got a packed show coming your way on this Wednesday. Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt producing today's program. And we got a great guest to start today's show. On the Fixed NC Live line, he is a former Pirate DB. He is the current color analyst on the Pirates IMG Sports Network. Kevin Monroe kicks off the show with us here on this Wednesday. Kevin, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Cliff. How about yourself?
Doing great. I appreciate your time as always, Kevin. Want to break down what we saw last Saturday and also preview what's ahead for the Pirates as they'll take on Georgia State at noon on Saturday. Our pregame coverage beginning 8 a.m. right here on Pirate Radio. Kevin, let's start with your thoughts on ECU UCF. The defense kept them in the game after those turnovers in the first quarter, but then, Dylan Gabriel and that offense of UCF kind of did what they do. What was your overall takeaways, Kevin, from Saturday?
It was interesting. I mean, had you said to me, before that game that the Pirates were going to, unveil 3 or 4 new backs and they were going to have a great day running the football, but the passing game would be inept, I would have told you were crazy. I mean, the one thing the Pirates had going for them coming into the season was the Holt Nailers that finished the last half of last year, throwing the ball well, making good decisions. You had C.J. Johnson that came into his own and was, one of the best receivers in this conference. To go along with that, 2 of the best route runners that we have in Snead and Prohl. I just wouldn't have thought you could stop this passing game. And here you are, midway through the third quarter, and you've got Johnson, Snead, and Prohl all with 1 catch. And I think Snead was 1 for 1 yard. And so it was really crazy. Defensively, I felt like the Pirates were very good at times and had some mishaps and mental mistakes at times as well, with some guys running free in the secondary. But I felt like they tackled fairly well in terms of running backs for the most part. There were some missed tackles, but they played pretty well against the running game. They were in place for the most part in the passing game. And they forced Dylan Gabriel and that UCF offense to several third downs and had opportunities to get off the field. They didn't always get off the field, but they really put some pressure on UCF, especially late in that second half, and were able to get off the field quite a bit. And so, as you said, it was 27-7 at halftime, but there was plenty of opportunities in the second half where the defense gave the offense more and more opportunities. And offensively, the Pirates went to that split back, 2-back backfield that we've never seen before. I'm happy to see it. I was happy to see how well Harris and Hayden and Mitchell, some of those young guys, ran. They were impressive, but could not throw the football. And I really didn't understand why. I know they were kind of bracketing C.J. Johnson, putting a corner over top, rolled up and then a safety over top. But there's other guys that throw the football too, and they just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, Kevin, the passing game was certainly disappointing. And you mentioned there at the run game, at the end of the game, Kevin, what did you make of that? Donnie Kirkpatrick, Mike Houston going to the run at the end. Were they kind of just trying to run the clock and get out of there? Was it more about, I've kind of had the theory that they didn't have spring ball or a spring game. Was it like an extended spring game where they wanted to work on the run game against real competition and get Harris and Mitchell and the young kids the ball? What would you make of there at the end of the game when they were running the football?
Yeah, I thought that was odd. I've gone on record as saying that I think the Pirates haven't had a real great running game since Ventavious Cooper left several years ago, and so they're trying to find that mix. They're trying to find, who, if it's going to be running back by committee or if it's going to be one guy that steps up and makes it happen. I think the left side of the line is very strong. Deontay Smith kind of leading the way, and then you've got 2 other guys that are either seniors or graduates. So it's a very experienced left side of the offensive line, and so they have some things working for them there. And so I don't know. Maybe they thought they were too far behind to try to throw it and get back in the game, and the running game was working. But it wasn't like Holton had been sacked a bunch of times. He was certainly getting pressured, but he wasn't on his back a ton. And so I just was surprised they went away from the pass.
Kevin, and I'm kind of bringing up some things here that were asked to us on the 5th quarter, and one of those is why we didn't see another quarterback in the game late in the game when he got out of hand. And, Coach Rick Smith is here with me on the 5th quarter, and I said that, I thought it was a time to put in another QB. Coach Smith kind of thought the same. But I also see it from the standpoint of you did not get a full off season of work in, and you want Ehlers with the ones and those guys playing. How about that, Kevin? Did you and Jeff talk about that at all, on or off the air, about maybe getting a Garcia or a Flynn in the game late in the game?
So we didn't discuss it, but certainly, this is, with Holton, he's still a young quarterback, but he's had to battle for his position every year up till now, and it's it's one of those things where you earn some respect and you earn the right to be the starter, and then all of a sudden the other guy is back in after you have a bad game or whatever. And so I think probably because he's gotten such high praise over the off season that maybe the coaches didn't want to destroy that confidence that he's built up going into this game. Now, I say that to say you don't want to make it seem like he should be looking over his shoulder. But the fact that this is kind of a free season, right, because it's COVID and everybody's coming back next year, the game plan maybe should have been we're going to play Garcia or Flynn for a series or two just to get their feet wet. And it's got nothing to do with how well you're playing. Holton, you might be turning it up or you might be stinking it up. Either way, we're going to get those guys in. And then that way he wouldn't have felt like, hey, I'm being punished. So, yeah, I guess they had gone into the game figuring they were just going to stick with Holton and no matter what, and that's what they showed on Saturday.
Talking to Kevin Monroe on the Fixed NC Live line. Kevin and the Voice will be on the call coming up this Saturday when ECU takes on Georgia State. Kevin, I'm going to ask you about DBs. What do you think of some of the new guys? Sean Dorso, Robert Kennedy there on the back end, and, of course, a lot of returners as well with Jaquan McMillan, Tank Robinson on the back end. The Gabriel, again, he threw for a lot of yards, but we saw a few plays made on the field. We saw some, Kevin, on both sides, I think, some interesting calls by the officials that looked like catch fumbles that they called incomplete. I know Kennedy had a nice hit right there at the goal line, but overall, what did you make of the secondary on Saturday?
Yeah, I like the secondary. I mean, listen, it's the first game, so you're going to have some mental mistakes, and obviously there was one play where the receiver was running wide open. Nobody was within 20 yards of him for a long touchdown pass. That's problematic. You can't have that happen. But aside from that, for the most part, when the ball went up, there was a DB there to either make a tackle or make a play on the football. And you're always going to get that out of Jaquan McMillan because he's just so good. He's always around the football. So no problems there. There was a couple of missed tackles. Once the guy catches the ball in front of you, you got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. I like Dorso. I think he was one of the leaders in tackles. Nolan Johnson came in for a couple series to replace Malik Fleming. I thought he did a great job, had some nice hits, was there in coverage. Malik Fleming did fine. I mean, he's not McMillan. I mean, they were both freshmen last year, but they're not the same. One of them is a little bit better than the other one, and so Malik Fleming's got to work out some kinks, but he's still young in the program. I mean, when I was a sophomore playing corner, I was still, having some mistakes, and it was a little bit rough. It's just hard to play that early in your career, and so he'll get there. And I like what I saw. Tank is going to do what Tank does. He's a big hitter. Some of that's been taken out of the football game, so it's almost like the enforcer in hockey, right? There's really no place for them anymore because of all the rule changes. So it's tough for Tank to go in there and light people up because it's always a penalty. So you're not going to see as many big plays out of him. But in terms of guys being there to make plays on the football, I was fine with what the DBs did. They need to clean it up some, but they played better than they have in the past.
Kevin Monroe joining us. Kevin, I'll ask you what you think this week will be like with you as a color analyst with Jeff Charles not in the stadium. But first, what was last week like with no fans there? How weird was it, Kevin? Did it ever feel normal once you got into the game? What was that like for you on Saturday?
You know what? Once we got into the booth, we're kind of by ourselves in our booth anyway. And so once we got into the booth, it felt like a regular Saturday. And obviously you look out there and you just see players on the field. You don't really see any fans in the stands. That was a little bit eerie, but they were pumping in some crowd noise and that kind of thing. So I'll be honest, once I got on the air and there was, 22 guys out there playing football, that's all I focused on, and I didn't really tell a difference. And I think that's a good thing because it's going to be like that all year long. And maybe later in the year they'll be able to bring in more fans, but for the most part, this is something the players have to get used to. I mean, Georgia State has to get used to it, East Carolina, and everybody on their schedule. So it was a little bit eerie there, especially in the pregame. But once we got going, it was like a normal Saturday.
Do you know what it's going to be like for you this Saturday, Kevin? I believe when we spoke to you last, you said you would not be traveling, so you and the Voice will be here in Greenville calling the game off a monitor. Is that correct?
Something like that, yeah. I think we'll try to get the feed directly from the stadium. That way we'll have some crowd noise and different things like that. And I don't know if that's a publicized thing or not. I don't know if people think we're going to be there. So Hopefully, I didn't break any any secrets. But we just felt like, for health reasons, that any unnecessary people traveling to the game probably don't need to travel, and so we can call the game, from a studio, and allow Pirate fans to be able to picture it just like they were there, and that's what we plan to do. We'll see. It'll be the first time we've ever done it. So if it doesn't go great, we need to work out some kinks for the next road game. We will, but we feel pretty good about it.
Kevin Monroe joining us. Kevin, a lot of folks, when they hear Georgia State, they think of the win over Tennessee last year. They think of what happened a few weeks ago when they almost knocked off Louisiana, lost in overtime in that game. I look back at their numbers from last year, Kevin. They play some high-scoring games, some shootouts. Also, they're good at home. They were 5-1 last year at home at the renovated Turner Field, and their only loss was to App State. So have you dug into the Panthers yet, Kevin, and know what kind of opponent ECU has coming up?
Yeah, so I've looked at them just a little bit, and they love to run the football. Destin Coates specifically had 34 carries for 150 yards, and he's a good-looking back. I mean, he runs hard, he's quick, he's got downfield speed where he can break that big one. So they gave him the ball a lot. It's a new day and age, even in the NFL, where backs don't get the ball 30 times a game anymore. And so for them to have that much confidence in him, the Price will have to be ready for him. The quarterback, Brown, he looks pretty impressive. They call him Quad. I guess that he's the fourth with the same namesake in his family. I'm assuming that's where the Quad comes from.
All right.
So Quad Brown he's a tall. He actually kind of reminds you of a young Cam Newton in the way he looks. He's a tall, lanky kid, and he can run pretty good. He's not a speedster, but he can get downfield. And he's got a big, strong arm. It's not super accurate, but he's got a big, strong arm. I think he threw for about 55% for just under 200 yards against Louisiana Lafayette. So they want to move the ball downfield running it. They kind of run that read option attack. And so it's either going to be Coach or Brown keeping the football, and they keep you on your toes that way. They like to go sideline to sideline, kind of put you in the mind of what we did under Ruffin McNeil in that offense, where you threw a lot of wide receiver screens. They do a lot of that. They stretch you out. They got a lot of athletic guys. There's, I think, 9 different receivers caught the ball on last 2 Saturdays ago. So they're very athletic. Got a lot of guys that can make things happen. And so we'll see. I don't think their offensive line is great, but all 5 of them are returning from last year, and so that experience alone is going to help them be successful. So the Price will have to be good on the defensive line and put some pressure on Brown.
And Kevin, we talked about it. Kind of tough to judge, Blake Harrell in Game 1 against UCF, and really it'll be tough to judge after 2 games, but maybe more of an idea what you got defensively with Blake Harrell and the personnel when you take on a Georgia State as opposed to taking on, the high-flying UCF Knights, right?
That's exactly right. This Georgia State team, Pirate fans don't want to hear this, but they're a lot like us, talent-wise, where they are in their program right now. Like, they'll step up every now and then and beat a big-time team, but they're in that Sun Belt Conference, and they're just trying to make their way. And so this is a team that's very like the Pirates, and so this will be a game where it's a toss-up, and whoever plays better is going to win that football game. And, I don't think it's really a home field advantage for them this year as it was last year, obviously, when they had the crowd rocking in Turner Field. Now they won't have as many fans, if any at all. I think they did have some the last time they played in the stadium, but we'll see. And so it's going to be interesting. I thought Blake Harrell's defense looked pretty good. I thought I really thought he was going to simplify it a lot, and because he had so many new defensive linemen, only 2 guys returning on that defensive line, Rick Abreu and
Hosey Hadji-Badri, yeah.
Hadji-Badri, right? And so other than that, everybody else is brand new. And so those guys were stunning. They were moving around, and they didn't miss a beat. There wasn't any offsides calls. There wasn't, any discipline problems, and they were making some plays. They didn't get a whole lot of pressure on Dylan Gabriel, but, I mean, UCF is known for getting the ball out quick, and so that's what he did, and so it was hard to get any pressure on him. But other than that, I thought they played well. The linebackers are returning guys, and Bivens and Smith, and those guys, they played pretty good. And in the secondary, we talked about them. They're young, but they're athletic, and they stay around the football. So all in all, I thought the Blake Harrell defense was good in its debut.
And one more note on the offense. We kind of touched on it earlier, Kevin, but 2 catches from C.J. Prohl and Snead apiece is not good enough. And, of course, one of those catches with Snead was the little sweep play they ran at the end for the touchdown. But I really expect, I hope and expect that the passing game takes a step forward coming up on Saturday.
There's no question. I mean, in the past, we were, when Holton was throwing 50 and, he made
right.
60 attempts in a game before, we were all like, oh, you don't need to throw the ball that much. But to be 14 for 29 with a really bad interception and just never gotten a rhythm, it just wasn't a good showing. Now, did Holton play bad? I don't know if he played bad, but they just never got anything going. And so that's, for whatever reason, whether it's play calling or, something they saw in the way they were being defended, they just never got the passing game going. So that has to be different. And that's a good thing because, Georgia State didn't get to see them light it up on film. So they're going to be, the DBs aren't going to be ready for as good as these receivers are. So we'll see how it pans out, but I certainly expect to see this passing game look a lot better.
Kevin, always appreciate your time, man. Thanks for joining us on the program today. And I had to remind Brian Bailey earlier this week. I'll remind you, too, just in case you're going around telling people you're in first place in the NFC East. The Washington football team is technically in first place after being 1-0 in the division. So, Kevin, that is a brutal, awful division, but, man, I'm going to say Washington's in first as long as they are, until they aren't. How about that?
I can't argue with you about that. I mean, that sounds about right. They did beat the Eagles, and I was rooting for them to beat the Eagles. But all of a sudden, the Eagles aren't very good, and they're 0-2-1 looks like 0-2-1. The Cowboys are 1-2. But if you've watched the game, they haven't played terrible, and they play probably one of the toughest opening schedules of anybody out there. So these next 4 or 5 games, I think they have the Browns, the Redskins, the Giants, the Cardinals, and somebody else. So they literally should go 3-1 or 4-0 over these next several weeks. So we'll see how they do, but you guys can hold on to first place for now.
All Dallas has to do is hold a team under 30, Kevin. You'll be all right. I mean, you're scoring points. Just can't get any stops. But, yeah, certainly the most talented team in that division is your boys. I'll give you that. Kevin, thanks as always, man. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, Clip. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, man. There's Kevin Monroe. Great guy, especially for a Cowboys fan. I know a lot of great guys that are happen to be Cowboys fans. Bailey, Meador, Kamo. I don't know. Maybe Cowboys fans are all right after all. All right, man on second, Dansby Swanson with 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 10th inning as both of these teams are trying to scratch across a run. It has been difficult. The Braves could not touch Trevor Bauer, and the Reds didn't do much better against Max Fried. Now both teams into their bullpens here as Atlanta has a runner on Austin Riley, who's played a great defensive game today, trying to get a game-winning hit here as Mike Mullis joins us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Going to talk some postseason baseball with Mully. How you doing, sir? Can you come sit beside me?
No, I like this spot.
All right.
I got to stay at arm ring.
Mully likes to be difficult.
Well, there's not a football down there, and I got one over here, so it's a...
Wow, there's an inside burn.
Works out well. That didn't take long either, did it?
No, it didn't.
Find the burn?
Right out of the gate. Feel the burn.
Let it burn. And
other scores, Ursher Raymond. Mully, we got Houston, Minnesota, 1-1 in the 6th. The Cubbies and Marlins are scoreless in the 4th. And the White Sox A's just underway. How about that? 4 playoff baseball games going on right now.
Yeah, September Madness.
That's fun, right? And
look, yeah, I mean,
Shirley, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll reset. Mully will join me
between innings.
Braves go down in the 10th. We move on to the 11th, scoreless in Atlanta. Mike Mullis joins us, all things. So we'll talk about his Packers too. Aaron Rodgers smoking. That team putting up a lot of points. We'll talk about that and more when we return after this. What are you doing over there?
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. What kind of wellness services do you guys offer?
We have massage therapy with your choice of either a relaxation massage, a therapeutic stretching session, or a prenatal massage. We have foot reflexology. We partner with Pirate Cryo for cryotherapy, also known as cold therapy, and we have health and wellness coaching. And if you're interested in holistic body therapy and saving money, we encourage you to check out our wellness membership plan where you can have all of our wellness services at a constant discounted price. You can learn more today at kptonline.com.
It's bow time.
Years from now, you'll tell your grandkids. Back in my day, we could get 2 Bojangle sausage biscuits for just $2.50. And those biscuits, shoot, they were always made from scratch. And that zesty sausage, sizzling like the summer of 2033. Then your grandkids will say, wow, 2020 sounds amazing. And you'll say, not really. But those biscuits were. Get 2 sausage biscuits for just $2.50.
It's bow time.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Get educated and make prudent decisions about your financial future. Contact David Dom at Carolina Wealth Management today at 439-1344 for a free consultation. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Barat.
All righty. Welcome back into the program. Got Mike Mullis in the house for the... hang around to about 4, Mully?
Sure.
All right, cool. Talk some baseball. Shirley notified me earlier this week that the KBO playoffs are starting, and I joked maybe that's why you're here, because you like KBO more than MLB.
100%. Yeah, man, I'm like an NC Dino's guy. Like, I'm on board with those cats. And it was easy early because Wright was pitching for them. But anyway, I've kind of gotten to where I like them. The cool thing about that, too, is every time you watch a broadcast, you're like, oh, I didn't know they had another team in such and such part of Korea. I mean, it's you've obviously gotten a little bit of an education there as well. So I enjoy the style of play.
Are they still running the games early morning on ESPN?
Not as often. It used to be every day, but now you get them about 3 days a week.
And again, credit to that organization over in Korea. Credit to NHL, which just wrapped up. NBA Finals start tonight. NASCAR, UFC. They all help get us through that sports hiatus. Now the big boys are all playing, the NFL and everything. But KBO, one of the first, Mully.
No, they were. I mean, they were the
golf?
first.
I should throw golf in there.
Yeah, KBO was ahead of golf.
Yeah.
When KBO's had the. Depending on what part of Korea they're in, they've had some fans in the stands, and I kind of like the cheerleaders. I think they're kind of cool to watch, and the cheerleaders figured out how to pander to Carl Ravitch and whatever. They came up with the cheers going back to the ESPN. So I mean, it's been cool. The only thing I would say is it does aggravate me, especially early on.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I know. You're way too. Yeah, you. It's going to be okay.
This ump though.
Well, then that's been all year. But they, early on, all they did was talk about, and I think it was buying time, but they didn't know about these Korean players, so they would talk about anything but the game.
Right. Yeah.
It would just kind of ramble, and
they know the personnel and everything a little better.
Right. I really feel like you've got me here today, so you can watch the game, and I'll just host this 30-minute block.
Mully, your thoughts on the playoffs? Sorry, go. I'm gonna turn my mic off. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So 4 games yesterday. Not a lot of action until last night when the Yankees got to who was Bieber, Shane Bieber.
Yeah, it did take. Yeah,
Aaron Judge, second pitch of the night or fourth pitch of the night, 2-run bomb.
They lit him up, and he's been really, really good. And that's what you think about when you think about the Yankees is if they're all healthy, and that's a huge if with that crowd. They just don't seem to be. I mean, Aaron Judge, he's kind of one of my favorite sayings. He's got a little glass in him. So I mean, he's the dude's fragile. Stanton's been fairly fragile since he's been over there. So it's but when they're there, they could swing it, and that's going to make them dangerous.
Garrett Cole, they paid him all that money. He went out, got the win in Game 1 for the Yankees last night. Somebody, Scott on Twitter, who is a Reds fan, sent me a tweet yesterday and said, I know we're about to be enemies, but before we are, check this out. And it was a box score from ECU UCLA in which Garrett Cole started and Bauer came out of the bullpen and pitched for the Bruins.
It's pretty good. You know what? And I've developed I was not a Bauer guy. I mean, he's a little.
I know. You've been on this program talking about that.
He's a little left to center, but I've seen some of his social media stuff. He's just a quirky dude.
Yeah.
And it's kind of endearing. And quite frankly, I don't think he cares.
I thought about it today. If he was on the Braves, he'd be my favorite player.
Yeah, if he just doesn't care. He's going to do what he does. The deal with Tim Anderson, when Tim Anderson, you and I talked about it a little bit off the air, but when Tim Anderson bat flipped him, did the whole deal, he did the most creative 5-minute montage on his social media page about his career versus Tim Anderson, and it was a lot of swing and miss. And basically, his whole deal was, I face a guy enough times, they're going to get a hit. And in today's time, if you get a hit, it's most likely a home run.
Yeah, some people call it petty, some call it funny. I call it both. I like it. I enjoy it.
Look, and that's the KBO going back to that and kind of tying in the bat flip. Those dudes are not afraid to, and it's not like what we saw with Cabrera that threw it up above the stadium. Theirs is real quick, and it's like it's very. It's very artistic. It's kind of it's more of a bat spin.
I enjoy it. It adds a little flavor, I guess, to the game. Did you see what Bauer did today, walking off the mound?
No.
A little throwback to Roberto Alomar, who I hated as a kid because he had a home run against the Braves in the World Series for the Blue Jays and rounded third and did the chop. Today, when Bauer was leaving the game, he gave a little chop or two.
Did he really?
Yeah, I mean, just
the dude is
classic Bauer.
Yeah, he's just. That's the thing is that at first it was annoying and it was a little bit disgraceful, and now you go, it's just Bauer being Bauer. It's just his deal. And that gives us a reason to talk about him because, quite frankly, he was a good pitcher that lived in oblivion forever, and then all of a sudden these antics, and then you start getting to know the guy a little bit, and you're like, it's kind of interesting.
Bolivian, I believe you mean. Mike Tyson.
Bolivian.
And that is a double down the line, a 2-out double by the Reds as the Braves try to get out of this top of the 11th. Mully, the Astros have scored another. Your favorite team leads the Twins 2-1. If they win this game, they move on. They won yesterday. And here they are. Everybody had wrote them off. I believe they have a losing record this year in the playoffs.
Their numbers are so down. Their offensive numbers are terrible, and
Altuve's hitting in the 2 teams, I believe.
Yeah, there's they're big 5 guys. I mean, none of them are doing. Bregman, he's not doing much. I mean, the tough part is, batting average is such a declining stat anyway. And so it's, but when you look at their averages, it's just not there.
I still look at it. Cliff Godwin doesn't like it.
I know.
How about you?
I understand the points, but it's always been a bar.
Yeah,
it's always been a point of measure. So
there's a batting champion, a batting title
for a reason, right? There's a silver slugger that's awarded. I haven't given up on the batting average, but I know it's more about production and in today's game. And part of and I've talked to so many people that love baseball, and I seem to get into a lot of those conversations just because people know my passion for the game. But I think a lot of people feel the same way, that there's just a lot lost this year, and that started happening last year. This isn't about the fans in the stands. It's just a different brand of baseball. It's almost hard to put your finger on it, but it's just very it's kind of vanilla. I mean, it's just not. It's waiting on the 3-run jack, like we're looking at a nothing game in top of 11.
And I read that the Reds had an historic low batting average for a playoff team this year, that they rely on the home run more than anybody. And you see that pretty much across the board, though, these days.
Well, when you let half the league into the playoffs, there's going to be some skewed stats. And that kind of goes back to the conversation we had last time I was here about the merit of somebody that's raked in college football right now before all the teams started playing. And that's kind of what you're seeing with this.
Oh, you should be happy. Everybody can be ranked now, Mully.
No, that's the way it should be correct now. But you know what? And I heard you say something on one of your shows, and I even started to type a text, and I was like, no, I'm going to let it go. And it was something to the point of, they shouldn't even be, or whatever it was. It was validating my point, but I knew it would just start an argument, and I don't like it.
Was it earlier this week?
Yeah.
Was it when I said that if the Big Ten wasn't allowed in the polls, UCF would be ranked top 10?
Yes.
Okay. And that's not a great point. It was a factoid.
It was a factoid. I mean,
I wasn't trying to make a point.
And I also have to say that when we're in the first quarter of the ECU game last week with the number 13 team in the country, I so badly wanted to text you and say, so you're telling me this is the 13th best team in the country? But then when they had the 5, but I let it. I only had a small window there.
Well, that's a lesson for everybody.
And then I let it marinate. Then I let it marinate a little bit, and they're pretty freaking good.
Don't text in any game, any situation in the first quarter, first half, even the third.
Just
quarter.
let it marinate. See what happens.
Let it sit there in that.
Let it burn.
Let it burn.
So I didn't send that out, but I promise you, I was like, matter of fact, it crossed my mind that I may just run down to the studio and just
say it to his face.
Well, and just hang out and watch the game, thinking, man, these guys are going to suck, and the next thing you know, they are what we thought they were.
Maybe ECU is the 14th best team in the country.
Maybe
for that first quarter.
Maybe.
It didn't last long after that as UCF took control. We got Pirates and Panthers coming up this Saturday. Panthers of Georgia State, that is, coming up at a renovated Turner Field, Mike Mullis.
Tough out. That's going to be a tough out, man. They took Louisville to the wire and won in overtime, 32-35 early in the season.
Oh, Louisiana, you mean?
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Louisiana. So
who is ranked, by the way?
And that was the team that we were discussing as whether or not they should be ranked.
Yeah.
So, but Louisiana. I'm sorry, but I mean, that's gonna be a tough out. And you know what? Cool. I wonder if these kids even know they're playing at Turner Field. Like, do they even grasp the concept of?
Absolutely not.
And out in the parking lot there somewhere is like the home plate from whatever. I guess from Turner Field where they took it in. But anyway.
Yeah, I doubt any current player knows what the heck that means. All right, we got White Sox and A's bases loaded in the bottom of the first for Oakland as they try to come back. They couldn't hit the ball yesterday, Mully, against the White Sox, but they got them loaded now with 2 outs in the first inning. Cubs and Marlins still scoreless. Cubs and Marlins, we've seen that matchup before, and Bartman was there. No fans there this time, Mike.
Again, the Cubs and Marlins.
I mean, the fact that the Marlins are in, credit to them. The Marlins and Orioles were looked at going into the year as the worst teams in baseball.
All right, let me ask you this, and this is in the totality of sports as we have it right now. is winning a championship harder, more difficult? Is it sport specific? Is it, does it add to or take away from the accomplishment? Like, I can't imagine, and I'm not a huge NBA guy like you are, but there's got to be something that really sucks about playing the NBA championship with no fans.
Yeah. No, are you asking like?
But I don't know if that helps or hurts.
Real?
Yeah, I think if you go in and you win that championship and you're like, all right, it's like playing at the Y.
Well, if you don't like LeBron James and the Lakers win, you can take it away from him. If you do, you can add it to his resume.
I think that's a petty thing anyway. I just I've been involved in baseball games where you're playing in a pretty good sized stadium and there's nobody there, and it's kind of like, it's weird.
Yeah. And that's one thing about the playoffs in baseball too, right? The crowds, those moments of excitement that we're going to be missing this year, and that really does stink. And I still think it's going to be a legitimate World Series winner, but it's certainly not the same. It's not the same.
No, I mean, it's a 60-game season, 16 teams get in, anything. Look, we're going to end up with like the freaking Dodgers and the Astros. And on cue, did he just hit a ball out of the park?
Yeah, I think that was a replay. A little bit earlier.
Well, yeah, still. I mean,
seeing that 3 and 6 beside the team names, Mully, like, you don't like that either.
I mean, that's where they came into this year. I mean, I get that. I get why they did that. I think that's great for gambling too. I think
there's 8 games on all day today.
To seed them out like that, to have them in a bracket style, the way they've laid out like you could have a MLB postseason bracket.
Yeah, you could
competition.
We missed out on March Madness.
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
Right now.
So I mean, it's going to be. I'll be honest with you. Tampa Bay won the Stanley Cup, and it was kind of. I mean, I heard about it. But it's just very, very different right now.
Let's be honest, though. If the NHL playoffs were normal, you wouldn't care it either.
I think maybe I would have just seen or heard more about it. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
Shirley, let's take a time out. Braves are in a jam as the Reds have bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the 11th. When we return, I'll tell you what happened, and we'll talk more with Mike Mullis, who is hanging out for another 15 minutes or so. We will be back on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
The Man Cave Salon for Men was built on the concept to serve only men. The Man Cave is the place for men to get together and take care of themselves. I'm Amanda from the Man Cave, and we offer professional manicures, pedicures, and a salon for all your hair care needs in a true masculine environment. Go to our website at mancaveandnails.com and book your appointment today. The Man Cave, now open on the corner of Evans and Fire Tower. Stop into the Man Cave and get your best life.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
If you're like many, you may have put on the Corona 5, 10, or even 15 over the last 2 months. Well, the weather is warm and it's time to get that body back on track. At Clean Eats, we have you covered. Our weekly meal plan will quickly help you get back to where you want to be. Order online at cleaneats.com. Our cafe is back open, sanitized, and waiting to serve you healthy lunch and dinner options for dine-in, takeout, curbside, or even delivered through our delivery partners. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Summertime is here with hot temperatures, thunderstorms, and hurricanes. It's easy to recognize pests invading your home, but a lot of people forget about moisture destroying your home's crawl space. Pest Tech is celebrating its 20th year protecting your homes using dehumidifiers, professional-grade liners, and most importantly, our licensed and highly trained technicians. Visit PestTechOfGreenville.com for a free estimate on moisture control and the other silent destroyer, termites. Trust your home to the best. Pest Tech of Greenville, your East Coast exterminating professionals.
Hey, this is Chef David Finelli from Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers. Today I'm going to tell you about our family meal deals for 4 hungry adults. We offer Finelli's Cafe lasagna, chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, spaghetti and meatballs, our hamburger steak and gravy with mashed potatoes, pork chops. If you'd like to order, please go to our Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers Facebook page or our website. Choose your meal, order online, pay online, roll up, and we'll get it right out to your car. Thank you from the Pops crew.
What's going on, y'all? This is your man, Petey Pablo, and right now you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Raise up!
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Villa Verde on 10th Street and Villa Verde Dos by the hospital are open for you, serving unique and healthy dishes from the Dominican Republic. Order online at myvillaverde.com or the Villa Verde app. Order a family meal that feeds 6 to 7 people, and they will have it ready for curbside pickup today. Whether it's dine-in or take-out, Villa Verde is a platform for good. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brown.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live. Got Wager McGee coming up to break down the college football NFL action. Got Bryce Williams, Jeff Charles at 5 o'clock. And Mike Mullis complained literally the entire time we were on break.
Baseball, this stuff is garbage.
Ronald Acuna, 3-0 count, top of the bottom of the 11th.
Nobody on, nobody out.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman hitting behind him. Acuna singles, Freeman doubles. That's a run.
Yeah, but he swings at the 3-0 pitch.
3-0 and pops it up.
It was a fastball right down Broadway.
It's 3-0. He can fly. If he gets on first base, he's going to score on a lot of different options in that ballpark.
And you're disgusted by it.
Yeah, that's the whole problem with the game is they've forgotten how to manufacture a run.
Yeah.
You know what? Sweet Justice is going to be Freeman's double that's coming up, and he's going to be stranded at second base.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
I mean, I don't get it.
I'm not going to argue with you.
God forbid Acuna gets on and Freeman just advances him. I mean, he is a left-handed hitter, right? So all he's got to do is pull the ball.
He did that early in the game.
Advance the runner. Now he's at second base and can score 1,000 ways.
You also don't like, Brandon Manning says, Mully would have strangled me.
Oh, no question.
Well, you'd have given him the take sign down there at third. And
no, I would not have had to. We would have taught that.
Oh, okay.
The only thing you would give might be a green light, and that would have been super rare.
So 3-0, you know what to do. Leadoff hitter in an inning, you know that situation.
It's called playing the game.
Even your best hitters like Brandon Manning?
It's called playing. He's definitely getting the take.
He's getting the take with
No. He's 3-1, and we're going to kick and wheel. But 3-1 with him, I'm getting in the dugout because he's going to pull a rifle shot down the third base line.
Freddie Freeman strikes out, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 11th, and Marcelo Zuna has been a giant windmill today, just swinging at everything, and had a great regular season, 0 for 4, 2 Ks in this one. All right, Mully also doesn't like, and this I don't understand,
Now, you need to tell the whole story now.
The whole story is you don't like the extra innings runner on second base. You didn't like that.
I didn't like that rule.
Okay. Well, good news, Mully. They're not doing it in the playoffs.
But they kept the DH and they played 60 games to get here, and now they're going to change the rules. And when do you need to preserve pitching more? Probably in the postseason.
Yeah, but this is more like real baseball.
With the DH in the National League.
Were you ever on a debate team?
I would have done better than that crap we saw last night.
That's good too, because
there you go. Good inning, Braves. Chopping broccoli.
Third K of the day for Marcell Ozuna. We go to the 12th.
If Cliff Godwin saw those 3 at bats, he would vomit. 3-0 pop up, nobody on, nobody out.
Yeah.
Now I do think Cliff's more of a 3-0 green light guy than I would be because he's a little more aggressive, and it's you coach who you got.
But when you don't talk about manufacturing ruins,
he is the best.
Cliff Godwin wrote the book.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, but then you watch Freeman come up and just he's just hacking at it. Yeah. And Ozuna's his AB was completely and totally useless. That dude threw 12 pitches and was out of the inning.
Well, I always hear approach, Mully. What is approach? What is your approach?
Have a plan. It's real simple. Everybody has a job to do. The leadoff guy, what do you think you want the leadoff guy to do in the extra innings with nobody on, nobody out?
Get on base any way you possibly can.
What do you want the next guy to do?
Advance him.
Get him over somehow. What do you want the next guy or two to do? Take a shot at getting him in.
Knock him in.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. That's why the game has just in the KBO. yeah, KBO. We'd have seen something right there.
We can learn a thing or two from Korea. I've always said that. Those are words to live by. South Korea.
Hold on.
I don't know geography. I don't know.
Make sure you got
politics and everything going on.
Yeah, South Korea though.
Mully, your Packers are riding high right now, man.
Go Pack, go, man.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and whoever he's throwing to. I don't know those guys.
No, he's unbelievable, and I love the fact that the talking heads are doubling back, going. The only reason that the Packers drafted a quarterback was to tick Rodgers off.
It was a master plan.
It was a master plan. They wanted to put a little more diesel fuel on the fire, so they went out and got a quarterback.
Okay, that's an easy talking point, but that's what we do.
Oh, it's easy to say now.
We take the easy talking.
Sure,
point.
right. Shoot.
By the way, we probably should mention too. Aaron Jones is a damn good running back. He's got a stud in the backfield.
Yeah, who?
Well, right.
You know what I'm saying?
They did have to find him.
Yeah, and that's like almost a made up name. He's probably somebody else.
What do you mean?
Aaron Jones?
You think he's like manufactured in a facility? He's not a real person?
No, I mean, he's been good. He's and we've seen this thing go from the big, Peterson type running back to now everybody likes the kind of little McCaffrey, little scat back guy. Of course, we had Barry Sanders in there, so he was kind of in that model, but Barry would also truck you. But
Jones has got some meat on the bones.
But he's just I guess he is Sanders-like. Maybe not quite as shifty, but nobody is. I mean, that dude was unbelievable. But
all right, looking at the baseball scores, Mully, Braves and Reds still scoreless here in the 12th. Houston has a 2-1 lead over Minnesota. Cubs 1-0 over Miami on ABC. I'm not used to seeing adults play baseball on ABC.
No, you're right.
Only Little
League World Series.
That's about all I can recall seeing. In fact, they said this is the first time a Major League Baseball game has been on ABC since '95 when the Braves won the World Series.
There were some folks that were ticked off when they went to tune into their soaps.
General Hospital?
Yeah, I don't know what comes on ABC.
I think that's ABC.
I'm sure there were some grandmothers that you got to think. You're in your pattern. You lock in at lunchtime to watch your soaps on ABC. You're already stuck at the house because that's probably the demographic that would be locked in on the soaps, and now you're stuck with baseball.
Luckily, my grandparents did like sports, so when the NCAA tournament rolled around, they weren't too upset about Young and the Restless being off.
I can tell you,
for some,
that's devastating.
Yeah.
And I would say that college basketball is a little easier watch than this crappy brand of baseball.
Man, Mully, I hate that you're my baseball guy and you hate baseball.
No, I love baseball. I wish they would play it. Some talented guys. I'd love to see them play baseball.
By the way, I got a tweet from our next guest, Wager McGee, yesterday. He said, baseball is stupid. And you know what he said, Mully? He said, why is it RBIs and not RSBI? We had that conversation
years ago.
Yeah, we were way on board with RSBI.
That's correct.
Before it got... That's when Mully started his turn, in fact. against Major League Baseball. The RSBI conversation.
Yeah, no, and these guys?
How can you save the game, Mully? There's a question for you since you have all the answers.
Go back and play the game the way it was intended to be played.
Which is what?
Which is no DH in the National League. Or, there again, play one set of rules. Like, if you want to play whatever you do in the regular season, do it in the postseason. That's pretty simple. I don't mind the expanded rosters. I don't necessarily like the 60 games and everybody or half the field gets in. But, and we got to throw this year out the window to a point.
You remind me of Twitter troll Redbeard, and Redbeard says, Mully hates baseball rules more than I hate NASCAR rules. And Redbeard's a huge NASCAR fan, and all he does is crap on NASCAR during an entire race. Well, and you're getting that way, too. You love baseball, but you hate this
Can we watch a KBO game? I love it.
Let's see if we can pull one up.
Those dudes go about it the right way.
I'm pretty sure they're sleeping right now.
They are, but I'm sure there's a repeat on somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe on ABC.
Only on ABC. All right. Well, hopefully you can find your and you. This is not a shock to me. Like, you were out of it before they started back.
Yeah, I had given up on the whole optics of how they went about. Well, here you go. First and third. First and third, no outs. Yeah. Now, what do you do here? What do you do here, Skipper?
Oh, I'll tell you what the Reds did last time when they had first and third. You see that when they got caught in a rundown? You would have really been cussing at that one. I'll have to show you. What do you do? What do you mean? What do you do? You swing away. You get the guy in from third. Even if the Braves are going to play in.
Yeah. I mean, you should have a big infield. I mean, you should have plenty of room to drive it through.
Yeah.
This could be tough for you.
The levee could break here.
I got some news.
All right, Jim.
What is this voice I hear?
Where'd you come from?
The first postseason game in MLB history to be scoreless through 11 innings belongs to this one. The Braves and the Reds.
We did it.
Good job.
Way to go, guys.
All right, now that's what you set up the double play. Now let's see what happens. Squeeze?
No.
Has there been a squeeze this year in all of professional baseball?
Probably not.
I would guess not.
Is that what Cliff's doing here?
No, you got no outs. We'd have let them swing it time or two. I don't know where they're at in the lineup. I can tell you this: it wouldn't be beyond Cliff to do it.
Looks like 8-hole hitter, 0 for 4.
And you are the road team.
Does that change anything? 8-hole hitter?
I don't know him. I mean, never even recognize he's wearing number 52. I don't think anybody knew him before the season started, but it could. But I would think an 8-hole guy should be able to handle the bat a little bit, and they're just looking no strikeout here.
And 1-1 count. We're just going to do play-by-play until 3:56 when we let you go.
Sure, they're looking no strikeout, and the Braves are looking double play. So they're at medium
Braves
depth.
aren't looking double play.
Yeah, the Braves are looking double play. They're going to take a chance that they're not all the way in, Clip. They're not on the grass.
They're going home if they get a ground ball.
They're going to not go home if they get a ground ball.
Well,
it's going to depend on where the ball is. Watch. They probably won't get a ground ball.
Did you really coach baseball for 25 years?
It's going to depend on where the ball is.
Sure, but
that's a fairly broad statement you just made to go, they're going to go home. And then I say, well, it depends on where the ground ball is. And you go, well, sure. Well, I mean, you can't have it both ways.
I'm sorry. I feel like you have an advanced knowledge of baseball that if a chopper's hit 14 bounces, they're not going to go home with it.
I don't think we defined the exact type of ground ball.
Look at this guy hacking.
Yeah. Now what do? You going home?
You check that runner at third, right?
Okay. Why are you acting like I'm an idiot?
All right. Well,
I know what I'm talking about.
I just wanted to make sure.
Are you going home?
I just want to make sure.
You know what? The only person going home here is you.
They're not all the way in.
2 minutes.
They're not all the way in.
But Mike Mullis, if a ball's hit hard on the ground, they're going home with it.
They're going to freeze him.
You got to check the runner.
If the ball's hit hard on the ground, they're going to freeze him. They're going to freeze him. They're not just going to come up and go to the dish.
What's happening right now?
Well, you're getting schooled.
Yeah, right. I hate to get your Shirley laughing.
So what do you got right here?
You done double play. There's one out and runners on the corners.
Does a guy steal here?
Yes.
Very interesting.
They brought in a pinch runner.
You got a left-handed pitcher now. It does affect some things.
Good point, Mullis. Good point. You know what I do? I throw it home.
You know what? That's always a solid play. When in doubt, throw a strike.
Yeah, that would work. All right, Mully, what you got going on, man?
Just sitting here talking baseball. Oh, this is my This is my
We're
exit.
squeezing you
This
out.
is my exit here. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were like asking me about. No. Okay. No, look, man, we're just
Fixed NC.
Rock and rolling,
Great
yeah.
support on the Fixed NC live line. We got a lot of calls on the fifth quarter. Did you tune in the other night?
I did. I didn't listen to the entirety, but I did.
What was your take on the Pirates' loss to UCF? What you expected?
Covered. Yeah. Covered.
Right.
I mean, I thought there was really, really good things, and I thought that they were really, really overmanned.
Yeah.
Outmatched.
Athleted.
Yeah, and not just man to man, but the depth thing is a real issue, especially when you got a team like UCF that's just running track. Look at me. Ooh. That could have been interesting.
Did they go a little squeeze
That would
action
have been
there?
a little safety.
Wait, that's the same guy at third. They got caught last time in the rundown and tagged out. A lot of stuff happening right now, Mullis. That this is you should get back into this. What were they doing here? He won't run in from third.
No. That would have.
What was that like? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it would have been maybe we get away with it. See where the ball goes on the throw. The guy at third must be able to really run.
They're trying to bunt, and this guy can't throw a strike, and that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So if they do bunt, the throws will be to first.
And I hate to say it this way, depends on where the bunt is. You got a left-handed pitcher, so which way is he going to fall? Mm-hmm. So that creates a little bit more of a void depending on which way he falls off the mound. He's got to make a full turn to get the ball to first base.
But it doesn't look like they're going squeeze.
They are not going squeeze.
Yeah,
they are not going squeeze.
You take the out at first, most likely.
That's correct. And the Braves get another hack. Of course, their big three just went through the lineup.
Yeah, they hadn't hacked all day. Well, they've been hacking
up furball.
All right, Mully, we'll let you go. I kind of want to ride out this at bat though.
Well, we're getting close. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Wants me to take breaks like when I need to, but I'm going to blame this one on you.
This is a point where you don't need to. There are people listening. They are living this game through us right now.
That is a good point. Runners on the corners, top of the 12th, 1 out. Here's the pitch. He cannot throw it within 10 feet of the strike zone.
And this, put him on, set up a force anywhere. Now you got your you try to get a ground ball, go home at first with it, or you got to double play. You got to double play anywhere. It depends on where the ball takes you.
I love a 1-2-3 double play. That's one of my favorite plays in baseball.
It's pretty easy to score.
All right, boy, 3-1.
And actually, I misspoke there. You wouldn't necessarily look to go to the plate. You would go wherever the ball takes you, look and turn, double play.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Sorry about that.
Right. Long strike.
Hook and foul.
Full count. Runners on the corners. Top of the 12th. Nobody out in this weird 2020 postseason baseball.
Would you be surprised if this thing went like 25 innings? I mean, wouldn't it just be appropriate?
Redbeard just made a good point. Wager needs all the time he can get. That is true because we tend to go long. All right. After this at bat, we're taking a timeout. No, I would not be surprised.
No. What would surprise you?
I got sports trivia at 7, at 8 tonight at AJ's. This game might still be going on.
There's a possibility.
By the time I get there. Brian Meador is living the game through us right now, and that ball is fouled off.
That was close, and the runner was in motion, so they're going to take a shot at 2 there.
Meador tried to act like, I don't like this 3-game series. Like his Dodgers aren't going to win 18-2 in both games tonight.
Meador, just hang on and enjoy the Dodgers ride. They're going to be tough to beat.
This is the year, I believe, for the Dodgers.
Do we get Dodgers and Astros in the World Series?
I bet that's what Meador wants.
That would be. Other than the fact that they would get there, the Astros being, that would be the way I'd want to see it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to see him play anybody else
and just get drilled.
Just get beat like a garbage can.
Payoff pitch. Top of the 12th.
Pick it first.
Corner.
You got to check him at first.
Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Swing and a miss.
Full arm fake and held him at third.
All right, Mully.
All right, well,
enjoyed it, buddy.
Wow, that was anticlimactic. Well, such is 2020.
We will take a timeout. Come back. Wager McGee joins us to talk all things college football, NFL. We're back after this.
Hi, this is Billy Parker, and football is here. Tailgate at home with family and friends this season and let Parker's Barbecue do all the cooking. While tailgating at your house, let us provide all the food with our delicious chicken, barbecue, seafood, and sides. We can customize packages for any size group, big or small. Give us a call today and place your order. Parker's and football, a winning combination. Also shipping nationwide at parkersbbq.com. Parker's Barbecue is how friends and family come together.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
It's bow time.
Years from now, you'll tell your grandkids. Back in my day, we could get 2 Bojangles sausage biscuits for just $2.50. And those biscuits, shoot, they were always made from scratch. And that zesty sausage, sizzling like the summer of 2033. Then your grandkids will say, wow, 2020 sounds amazing. And you'll say, not really. But those biscuits were. Get 2 sausage biscuits for just $2.50.
It's bow time.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Your office deserves a proactive tech support approach instead of always reacting to issues after the damage is done. You need BizCare. BizCare tech support and cybersecurity plans keep you ahead of potential issues and much safer from cyber threats like ransomware. What's at your office? Call William today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs of Greenville. Right now, for a special time, Sparky Snowballs is open every day from noon to 8 in the Food Truck Rodeo on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road. Stop by for a delicious icy treat. Plus, did you know Sparky's also has funnel cakes and fried Oreos too? Support your local Food Truck Rodeo every day from noon to 8 on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road. Sparky Snowballs, serving delicious icy treats to smiling faces for over 20 years. Visit Sparky's on Facebook or sparkysnowballs.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Got damage? Damage from wood rot? Fixed. Damage from smoke or fire? Fixed. Damage caused by water? Fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC, restore, renew, maintain. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, video production today. Riding along, the Braves got out of that inning Bottom of the 12th. And we'll see if they can scratch a run across. It is 0-0 right now. Wager McGee is here to talk all football going on this weekend. Although during the break he mentioned NASCAR. Redbeard, if you're tuned in, what are your thoughts on the dirt being put on the track at Bristol? And there's a base hit by Travis Darno. Wager, what's your take on the dirt? I
don't know.
Are they driving like real cars on it?
I guess. I don't know why they're not driving like the.
They should drive the
dirt. The roll
buggies or whatever they're called.
They already have that. That circuit somewhere. That's where Tony Stewart, killed that guy that got out of his car or whatever.
Okay, that's fun to bring up.
Yeah. Well, it's history. It's maybe the only time it's happened. I saw something about. They ran they used to run on the beach, right, for Daytona. I think that's where that one started. So, I don't know how I feel about the dirt track. So I don't think I like it. I saw there were 2 tracks that got off the schedule. That Chicago and Kentucky. I don't mind that. A couple of guys got some extra races, and they're adding the track in Austin for another 6 road courses. Which again, it's going to create some more specialties. Some guys are going to be able to, if it's Cindric or something like that, guys like that get a ride that are are really good road course guys. So it does change things up a whole lot. So no Wednesday races though, I guess, which I'm a little bit disappointed about that.
One out, bottom 12th. Wager McGee is here. Let's fly through these games. We got a Friday night doubleheader. Campbell at Wake Forest, followed by the NFL team that's playing college football this year, BYU. Men amongst boys, quite literally, as BYU looks awesome. Expand the playoffs. I want to see BYU in it versus a real team. They got Skip Holtz and the Louisiana Tech boys coming up on a Friday night. BYU a 24-point favorite. Total is at 58.5. By the way, Wager back-to-back weeks has picked a game that would hit 100. Last week it was Louisiana Tech and Houston Baptist. So congrats on that. We'll see if we have a 100-point game this week, Wager. But BYU, Louisiana Tech, you got anything on this?
I like the over in it. I think BYU will continue to impress people on offense, but I lean towards catching 24.
The problem is other teams haven't been able to help the over in BYU games. BYU's been scoring, but their defense has been so good.
Well, I think La Tech is going to be a little bit different here. They're the ones that were in the 104-point game against Zappy and Houston Baptist. They scored 30 on Southern Miss. They're picked to compete with UAB in that side of the division, where Troy was kind of in middle of the pack, like Georgia State level on their side of the Sun Belt. I think it's overcorrecting here a little bit because BYU is such a known public team now because they've played these standalone games, and this one is going to be as well. I know they talked last week a whole lot about them trying to add Boise and some Mountain West teams to kind of increase their resume for the playoffs. I like the over. I lean on the 24, and I know I'll be texting you regretting it in the first quarter when it's 21-0.
South Carolina, Florida coming up in the Swamp Saturday at noon on ESPN, and Florida a big favorite in that one, total at 57.5.
I love Florida in this game. I've liked. I'm going to stay.
What do you got them at? I see 17.5.
Yeah, yesterday when I wrote the numbers down, it was 18 and the total was 57. So, okay. South Carolina is not going to be able to run the ball. They couldn't run against Tennessee, and this is a better defensive line and front seven than what it was. You got to think there's going to be fans in Florida, right? So it doesn't seem like there's a home field advantage here given to the point spread because Florida was a 14-point favorite last week at Ole Miss. This is a not as good of a South Carolina team. And plus, South Carolina, I think this Florida team is on par with that Alabama team from last year. South Carolina at home last year was a 25-point dog to that Bama team. So it seems like you're getting by a 7-point touchdown benefit here on the Florida side.
All right.
I like Florida.
You loved Texas last week, and I took them, but I also made sure to take the team total, so I didn't completely lose in that one against Texas Tech. They got TCU this week. Texas a double-digit favorite, total at 63.
I'm just going to bet the over in most Big 12 games, but I don't like a side in that with Texas. But they escaped, and with Oklahoma losing now, I think Texas and Oklahoma State are the two that are going to be a little bit more focused than everybody else. But is Texas, it's weird to say this, but they could be looking ahead a little bit because Texas-Oklahoma play next week, so the Red River Shootout next weekend.
Yeah. Oh, what a big game. Oklahoma stinks. They lost.
I know. It still is from that side. I think Oklahoma might get caught. We'll talk about that one looking ahead there. So
Missouri, Tennessee. Welcome back, Alabama first half, by the way. Enjoyed that one against Missouri last week. That was fun. Tennessee with a win over South Carolina last week. Getting a little respect. They're ranked. They got a pretty decent number beside their name against Missouri. Total around 48.5.
Yeah, I like Tennessee in this game. I wasn't that impressed with Missouri, and I think it's one of those situations where new coach, a lot of new pieces on that side. Tennessee beat them. They're in the third year of a system. Veteran quarterback in Garantano, 17 starters back. They won at Missouri last year 24-20, but outgained them 508 to 280. They're much farther along. They scored 31 last week, and they were 1 of 12 on third downs, but Garantano didn't turn it over. I think they'll improve the third downs a little bit. I like Tennessee to roll. Drinkwater's talking about like COVID testing and stuff. He doesn't seem focused right now, so I think he's got a year to. This is a bonus.
It's Drinkowitz, right?
I don't know. Drinkwater.
Somebody else who was calling him that. I was listening to a podcast, and they say I keep calling him Drinkwater. Maybe it was you on the podcast. I don't know. All right.
His name should be Drinkwater.
I said last week I'm going to take every NC State over. I might be regretting that because they play boring-ass Pittsburgh. But can Pittsburgh, it's a pretty low number for a college game, 46.5. Pittsburgh, 2-touchdown favorite. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I'm blind. Same thing. So
over?
Blind over.
They're not playing any defense at all.
Yeah, NC State, if you look at it now, they couldn't stop Wake. They just... Backup quarterback, 27 starters out for Virginia Tech last week with COVID. They shut it down. They rushed for Virginia Tech. They rushed for 314 yards, 7.7 average, and they didn't even really try anything in the fourth quarter. So, hey, Pitt will finally score. The team total is going to be low there in that 30 range. Yeah, I could see Pitt just piling it on here, run the ball.
All right, the battle of our alma maters. Are you a Panther of Georgia State?
Two-time graduate. We've talked about this.
I know.
Undergrad and grad.
For the new listeners, you are a Georgia State Panther.
We didn't have football when I'm so old, we didn't have football when I was in school.
Oh, wow. All right.
There's Panthersville Stadium, but we played high school at Panthersville Stadium, so we definitely didn't own Ted Turner Field, which is where the football team plays now.
Pirates are a 1-point dog, total around 69.5. I did a Zoom earlier today with the press box crew. And I picked Georgia State to win this game. And I hope I'm wrong. I need to be proven wrong. If ECU can go on the road and beat a pretty good opponent. And the reason I picked them, last year at home, they were 5-1. Their only loss to App State. They play high-scoring shootouts. I think that's what kind of game it's going to be. I said 42-40, Georgia State wager. What do you think here?
I like it. The ECU grad that said the ECU would win by 10, so they clearly didn't check the lines. But I'm just betting them lunch on that, so I'll take the free lunch with Georgia State plus.
You got
10.
plus 10?
Yeah.
Jeez,
don't bet with your heart. I love the people who bet with their heart. So I think the week after ECU plays UCF is a tough week for ECU from what I've seen. Last year, you would know this more than me, being more connected with ECU. But after the game last week, I would think that was probably the worst game they played all year. They lost as a 2-point dog to South Florida at home, 45-20. ECU the last 5 years as UCF has kind of jumped up in the national thing. They're 1-4 straight up and against the spread. Ironically, their one win was against BYU, our team this year.
Smoked them.
So I think there's a little bit, because everybody hates UCF, I think, in the conference, but you also are measuring yourself against it, and I think there's a little bit of a look behind when you play them, especially like last year when they played them so tough.
I don't think ECU's. They know. I think everybody knows we're not to UCF's level.
No, but I think that's the program coming up from really a small program, not on a national stage, to being nationally ranked. Again, I just think it's a bad spot.
Okay.
Having to go on the road and travel. And this is a good Georgia State. I know ECU fans don't care about Georgia State, and they shouldn't, and they don't know anything about them. But they
will on Saturday.
They had Lafayette beat the week after Lafayette played Iowa State and won there. So you're right. They're 5-1 against the spread at home last year. They were up on App State in that game by 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, and they play shootouts. They won at 3 games last year that were in the 80s at home. App State, they lost, but they beat Troy and they beat Arkansas State at home in the 80s. They're comfortable playing that pace. They can run the ball. They play a lot like App. I think it's a bad spot for ECU. I like it. It won't get to 100, but I think this game is, I would play the over. I think this game gets into the 80s.
I'm with you. I got 82 points on the board coming up on Saturday.
Are we meeting in the parking lot and tailgating?
Yeah, well, okay. I'll see you there right at home plate, right?
I'll pick up the varsity. Yeah,
Mully was saying there's a home, what's it?
Well, on the parking lot where the Hank Aaron statue or plaque is where you hit the 715. That's just out in the parking lot now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no respect. It's
so there's no, like, monument? There's still a monument or not a monument?
I think there's just kind of almost like a plaque.
And people like put their beer cans on it and
probably
stuff?
Probably so, yeah.
God, man.
Atlanta sports fans.
Yeah. All right, Coastal Carolina. We know Coastal Carolina. Well, it was Wager's pick of the week back when they knocked off Kansas. I had Campbell plus the points against Coastal in their second game. So, Wager, we are collectively undefeated in Coastal Carolina games. What are we doing this week?
I like Coastal plus the points. I think they may win this game straight up at home.
Against Arkansas State.
3.5, catching 3.5. I think Arkansas State, from the win on Kansas State now, and then Kansas State turns around and wins, it's almost like Lafayette, again, getting a lot of credit down the road, 2-3 games down the road because of their win over Iowa State. These are conference opponents. They played last year 28-27 at Jonesboro, I believe is where that is. And Coastal outgained them 412 yards to 368. Chance for Coastal to start 3-0. First time as FBS team that they've started 3-0. They're going to host App State and Georgia Southern at home, which are bigger games. But, yeah, the gap is closed here. I like Coastal plus the home. Are they still getting 3.5? I think they win. I may take sprinkle a little bit on the money line.
Hey, speaking of sprinkles, I got a sprinkle tonight on the Heat.
Everybody's sprinkling on the Heat, right?
I did that last night.
It's
and
the public dog. Because of that, I think.
I thought I was really cool when I did it last night. It turns out I'm with everybody.
I got for anybody that's starting to bet. If you see that your trendy dog pick is everybody else is on it. And last week it was West Virginia and Kentucky, and I was like, I don't have a chance of winning either one of those. And both of them should have won those games. Completely outplayed Auburn and Okie State on the road. And lost both and didn't even cover.
All right. I'm going to ask you yes or no. Are you doing anything with it? If you say yes, we'll mention it briefly. If not, we'll move on. Baylor, West Virginia. Interesting game.
I like West Virginia. Same thing. I think they should have won. They're 4-0 against the spread at home against Baylor. Last year, much better Baylor team. Beat them 17-14 as an 18-point dog. If you look at the number, Baylor really struggled last week against Kansas. They had 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown, so it wasn't as good as what it looked. And again, it's new head coach, new system, all that stuff. I think West Virginia's farther along in the system, so I'll ride West Virginia again.
You do anything with UTSA, UAB?
I'm on the over in that game, I think, in
54.5-ish.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with that new UAB quarterback, Lucero. And, with that, they won last year 33-14 2 years ago, and then Birmingham, they won 52-3, but yeah, UAB has scored 45 and 43 in the 2 games that weren't Miami. They're scoring points. Its total seems low, 54, because UTSA scoring points too.
All right, North Alabama Liberty. No way you're doing anything with that.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Abilene.
Although we got the Lions, I believe, because they go to BYU in a couple weeks.
Abilene Christian Army.
No, Army will destroy.
All right, 3:30. Let's take a timeout, Shirley, because we just got to the 3:30 window. There's some pretty good games here, including A&M and Alabama. We'll talk about that one when we return, get into some NFL as well. One out, top of the 13th, Joey Votto up facing Shane Green. And the Braves and the Reds are scoreless. This ump's ready to go home. He's calling everything off the plate right now. We'll take a timeout, come back. More to go on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
CD's Grill in Winterville wants to thank you for all of your support during these crazy times. CD's Grill has the area's best country cooking, and you can come and enjoy a down-home breakfast or one of our daily country lunch specials at CD's Grill.
CD's now has an incredible lunch special from 11 till 2 every Saturday. Choose from 2 hot dogs, cheeseburger, or chicken sandwich with fries and a drink for only $4.99 at CD's Grill every Saturday.
CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove is now offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. These Fast Passes are good in New Bern and at all 3 Greenville locations. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And now in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
The Frowls family lives on a lush piece of land called Greener Pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frowls family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson, DAL, at ecu.edu. Paid for by the United States Army.
Hey, this is Jay from Villa Verde. Did you know that Villa Verde opened up its second location? Yes, it's Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard across the hospital. This new location is a fast casual environment where you can make your own bowls for only $9.95. Choose from our fresh ingredients from our toppings bars or enjoy an amazing rotisserie chicken. We promise you can be in and out in less than 15 minutes. For a quick, healthy meal at an affordable price, visit us at Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
This is Billy Weaver from WITN. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, for producing today's program. Saw a tweet from Jeff Passon. Reds and Braves are scoreless, but Reds have runners on the corners with 1 out. The Astros are 3 outs away from advancing. The stat there, though, the Twins about to lose their 18th straight postseason game. That is an insane stat. A's are up on the White Sox right now, and Miami is up over the Cubs. Miami has never lost, I should say the Marlins have never lost a playoff series. They've gone to the playoffs twice. They've won the World Series twice. So that's my pick to win it this year.
Astros, Marlins, World Series. It's the World Series 2020 deserves, right?
Absolutely. All right, wager. We are in the 3:30 window. By the way, it is Prove It To Me Saturday for the Pirates. I need to see it before I believe it. Wager and I both like Georgia State to win that game coming up on Saturday, and we both think it's going to be a high-scoring affair down in Atlanta. All right, Alabama, they roll week 1. Texas A&M, what were they doing? They're
looking ahead.
They're screwing around with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vanderbilt.
Bama, a big favorite in this game. Total at around 51.5. Roll Tide?
I kind of like it to be a lower scoring, tight defensive game. Kind of like week 2 Texas A&M did the same thing last year, right? Ignored week 1. All offseason was about week 2, which was Clemson. They were 16-point dog, and they lost 24-10. Before Tua, Judy, Ruggs era, those 2 previous years, the games finished at 47 and 46 total. That was just in 16 and 17.
So is that
it's almost like
Alani?
No, it was probably
okay.
It was between Manziel and Mons, whoever now is starting. So the kid that transferred from Oklahoma, I think that was there maybe 1 year, Kyler Murray. And it's still lots of NFL guys all over the place. I'll probably stay away because I want to watch it and I can't bet an under and watch the game. So, but I kind of think I'd lean towards taking the 17 and the under in this. I have 52.5, so it's already been bet down.
All right, BC at home against North Carolina. North Carolina's been off for a while. They are 2 touchdown favorites at BC, 54.5.
We thought BC would be looking ahead last week, and Texas State should have beaten them, getting 17.5. But they've started so slow in 2 games. I think it's North Carolina or nothing, and I think Carolina is going to improve each week. So 55 seems to be a low total. BC can sling it around a little bit, but they're not going to be able to run the ball at all against Carolina.
Cincinnati has a nice number beside their name, 15, as they take on South Florida. They are big favorites, 3 touchdown favorites, and the total is a little under 50 in this game. And what do you think about Luke Fickell's squad?
I'm on board with them. I think they're best team in the conference. So they survived last week against Army 24-0 or 24-10. I don't know USF. They didn't play against FAU because of COVID. The week before that, they lost 52-0 to Notre Dame. They're still really new and young in the system. Definitely, Cincy's way ahead of them on the this year being ready and developing the system. But that's a big number. I don't know. I might stay away.
Okie State, bless you. Okie State taking on Kansas, 21-point favorites. What did Oklahoma State do last week?
Beat West Virginia.
Oh, right, yeah.
But they didn't play well.
So maybe they're not good.
Big Okie State?
Yeah. At what point do we start to say they're not good?
I think they've got maybe the only defense in the Big 12 and the best defense in the Big 12.
So you think they're good defensively?
I think they're good defensively. I think their offensive pieces, the quarterback was sprained ankle. I think West Virginia's pretty good too. Hubbard was good, not great. They own the series. Everybody owns series against Kansas, but 4-0-1 against the spread. This is like Pitt. Those are the two games here that if Pitt doesn't score a bunch of points against NC State and Okie State doesn't score a bunch of points here against a defense that will let them score, then same way. If you're on Prove It Saturday, but I think
you remember college football, they did this a lot more in the past. I feel like they had a theme for the weekend.
Yeah.
This is Prove It Saturday.
Prove It Saturday.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's loss, I think, helps Oklahoma State here because, again, I've kind of thought players and coach, that whole thing last week. I don't know if they were on the same page, but Oklahoma losing now. Texas doesn't look great. Okie State could run through and win the Big 12 and find their way in the playoffs. So, again, they should be focused here. If not, I'll worry about them, but I think they and Pitt both step up this week.
Memphis, SMU, this is a good one, 3:30, ESPN2. Memphis, a road favorite.
54-48 last year. That's 102 points, sir.
Oh, we taking
I don't know. The 18 was low scoring, 66-45 and 17. This is SMU helps get games up. Memphis was not, but they've had a big COVID break, right? They played Arkansas State. They weren't great in that, and then they haven't played since then. So I think it could be. These two have gotten in, 2 of the last 3 years have gotten over 100. I'm not saying it will be, but definitely like the over, whatever that number is. Is it 80?
I see 74.5, but I'm looking at ESPN, so they're off a lot of times. Yeah. But it's going to hit 80?
It's 80 plus. This one's 80 to 100. The other one, we'll talk about one more that I think's got a shot at getting there, but if not, this one could be the 100.
This is a weird game. FS1 3:30. Kansas State coming off a win over Oklahoma. Texas Tech coming off a shoulda, woulda, coulda against Texas. So a lot of emotional ups and downs for all these players in this one. Kansas State a slight favorite at home with a total in the 60s.
Yeah, I think you look at the over first. If it's above 3, I think I'd look at Texas Tech. So, I mean, they should have won that game. They were up 2 touchdowns with about 4 minutes to go. Again, developing in that system. And K-State in a down spot a little bit. But what is it? Is it 3, 2.5, 3?
2.5, Kansas State.
Yeah. Maybe over, maybe Texas Tech plus 3 is just kind of a look behind for K-State's big win.
Anything on Charlotte FAU?
Yeah, I love FAU. That's one of my favorite sides. And
okay.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what they have, but they have a lot of off because they haven't played yet, right?
No.
The COVID.
Charlotte got their game postponed last week or canceled because of
they didn't want to play.
Misreading tests.
Yeah.
Georgia State. Georgia State didn't want to play? Extra prep for ECU?
No, Charlotte. Remember they had that was contract tracing when they backed out of the UNC game. They backed out of 2 games now.
Okay, but last week it was on Georgia State, not Charlotte.
Somebody that misread that's better than Notre Dame canceling because of projectile vomiting.
That was rough, yeah.
That's the roughest story so far.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, FAU's got the best quarterback, running back in that league, and I think Charlotte, it's only 6.5. That's a low number, I think, because of how they perceived the play against App, and they were outgained by about 300 yards in that game. So I love FAU in that, and their quarterback was awful in that game, like Charlotte 11 of 30. So FAU is one of the favorite sides of the day.
Okay, 4 o'clock, VT Duke. Anything on that?
Nothing really.
I mean, well, we got to move on.
Yeah,
because we have not started NFL. We still got a lot of college. No. Anything on Ole Miss, Kentucky?
It leaned Kentucky in that game, but we can pass one.
Jacksonville State, Florida State?
Nope.
Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee?
Nope.
Navy Air Force?
Nope.
Okay. Wow. Wager has never gone 3 games in a row with not.
I'm trying to help with time.
Without not having an interest in it.
Yeah.
Georgia Southern, UL Monroe. I know you got some on this.
Southern.
You love the Sun Belt.
Yeah, I'm done trying to think that Monroe is going to come back somehow here. And, I mean, they just gave up. They got outgained 512 to 119 yards by UTEP. 21 to 6 first downs, UTEP. I think it's a little bit low here because of, and the number too, the 49 total is what I had from yesterday because of ULL, Georgia Southern 20-18 game. But Georgia Southern beat them last year 51 to 29. I think Southern rolls in this game. So because they're getting their COVID guys back and healthy too. So
7:30 headliner on ESPN, Auburn at Georgia.
I mean, JT Daniels.
I told you last week that Georgia's boring, but I don't know. Did they end up covering late? I mean, they were fooling around with.
I think they won by 27 and they were 28, right?
Yeah, okay.
Well, again, I've been on the Florida bandwagon. It's the best team in the East and
this is
second best.
Old school SEC here, total at like 44.5. Kind of low.
Yeah, they're kind of low, but the way that both those played, I lean Georgia on this side. JT Daniels cleared on Monday, but I mean, the former walk-on kid that came in wasn't bad. He had like 7 drives. One was a kneel down. So out of the 6, they had 3 touchdowns, a field goal, a punt, and a fumble that wasn't his fault. So, and Auburn really got outplayed by Kentucky. There's just a couple of turnovers there. But, yeah, I lean Georgia. If Daniels plays, I can't imagine he's going to play, but I think he'll be on the bench as the backup.
Anything on Tulsa, UCF?
A revenge game for UCF. So whatever that number wants to be, how bad they want to make it look. So
like them to cover. Arkansas, Mississippi State. Mississippi State 18 coming off that win. Letdown spot?
Probably a letdown spot. Arkansas kind of really grinded away and played hard, but I think they're limited offense, and Costello and Leach are not limited on offense. But it's probably a letdown spot that I will stay away from.
All right, Oklahoma, Iowa State.
Love Iowa State. So, really? I mean, everybody's like, well, Oklahoma off a loss. They lost to Kansas State last year and played Iowa State, and that was a 42-41 game that Iowa State went for 2. This is Matt Campbell's. This is the game he wants to win to get that next big job. And they outplayed him last year. Purdy had one of his best games. You know, they're going to be able to run the ball in Oklahoma, and last year, Jalen saved them with 5 touchdowns and 350 yards. And Rattler, your boy's not going to do that this year. He's going to turn it over more. I don't know who their backup is, but I could see Iowa State winning this game, and Oklahoma having to go to a backup quarterback after this.
Reds have the bases loaded, top 13, 2 outs now as Minter just got a strikeout. All right, LSU Vanderbilt.
I like Vandy.
All right.
I think of all teams, LSU, probably some Oklahoma guys too. That's why I think the Iowa State factors in there. But if you were iffy about playing, a couple of LSU guys already opted out, so they've got friends that already opted out, and you lose to Mississippi State, do you want to go on the road and play Vandy? And Vandy's defense is going to play hard. Last year was 66-38. I think it's a question whether LSU guys want to play and how healthy they're going to be, because Stingley may or may not play. I like the 21 if you can get him.
Only 2 games left, so we can get through these, although I think this is the one you want to talk about. In fact, Jeff Nadeau earlier this week says he likes this over. Southern Miss, North Texas.
It's a possible 100-point game.
This is it, folks. 2 weeks in a row, Wager has said there would be a 100-point game. He's saying possible here, so what's that mean? 90?
I mean, North Texas 2 games have been 57-31 and 65-35. I mean, they don't play. They're a willing participant, right? You got to have 2 to tango here. And Southern Miss.
What's Southern Miss going to do, though?
Southern Miss seems to be the same way.
All right.
I mean, last year's game was 45-27 Southern Miss. Just the pace. To get 100 points, it's got to be fast break pace. We know North Texas plays that way because we've seen him play a couple of times, and that's how he wants to play, Luttrell. Southern Miss doesn't play as fast, but I mean, I don't know. You saw Tulane scored 66 on Southern Miss last week. They've allowed 45 points a game the last 2 weeks, so I definitely love the over. If it's 72, the ball game.
Braves get out of the inning.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this is your over the week. Like your triple digit.
Yeah, I mean, I think Oklahoma and Iowa State could get there. I think our 2 schools could get there possibly as well. But this is the one. If I'm going, this is the 100-point game. I'll go with this one. And if you can find props on Abraham, who's the quarterback for Southern Miss, find them, because Zappi and Bouchel had both torched that secondary for North Texas.
Shirley, hit the music. We'll go to break. As we do, anything on Virginia Clemson?
No, I don't even know if I wrote that game down.
All right. Perfect.
It's Clemson.
For the first time ever, we got a decent amount of time to talk NFL. So we'll go through those games when we return, beginning with Broncos-Jets. Which should be
we can skip ahead there.
A ton of fun on Thursday night. Back with Wager McGee and back with the Braves batting with a chance to walk off after this.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get $500 off the latest phones. Upgrade to fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and its outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip as the state safely reopens. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember the 3 W's. Wear face coverings, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park before your visit with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open.
Get your sports weekend started at Familia. Every Thursday, Familia has $2 drafts all day. Stop by with your friends and family for some New York-style pizza and have an ice-cold $2 draft. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College and FamiliaNC.com.
Can't make it to the game? Relax. Bostic Sugg Furniture can provide you with the best seats in the house. We have the area's largest selection of Lazy Boy motion furniture in stock and ready to go. Lazy Boy recliners, reclining sofas, love seats, and reclining sectionals in hundreds of colors, styles, fabrics, and leather, all at a very comfortable price. Remember, when it comes to Lazy Boy motion furniture, we're your ticket to the best seats in the house. Bostic Sugg Furniture in Greenville.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get auto, home, life, and business insurance all from one agency? Well, that's where the Gavigan Agency comes in. They can help protect what is important to you. So why not simplify your life? See the Gavigan Agency in Greenville or give them a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
This is former ECU baseball player and mayor of Greenville, PJ Connolly, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Eat healthy at Clean Eats. Sign up for a meal plan at cleaneats.com, or you can stop in and eat at the cafe or grab a meal to go. Clean Eats on Red Banks Road and online at cleaneats.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Braves have a man on. Nick Markakis single, nobody out in the bottom of the 13th, scoreless against the Reds. Wager McGee is here. We've got about 15 minutes to talk about the NFL slate of games and Wager Thursday night Broncos-Jets. Anything there?
No.
We're going to bet on it because there's no college game to bet on. So
yeah, I saw.
Figure something out.
Well, I
look at that gross total, under 40.
Yeah.
And it's a pick'em game. This is awful.
If the injury report that I saw today on the Jets is correct, they're going to get Crowder back. They're getting like Becton back. I'll bet the Jets.
Okay. Oh, God. Did you just say that? Austin Riley base hit. 2 on, nobody out.
It's down to a pick.
Yeah.
I think it opened at 3.
I'm not betting the Jets. I'd rather, look, Mark Rippon won a Super Bowl with Washington. His bloodlines,
Brett,
will win a game with the Broncos. Colts, Bears. I'm taking the Colts on the road.
Love the Colts. Yeah. I mean, the Bears are the worst 3-0 ever. And it just sets up well. The Falcons ran for an average of like 6 yards a rush, I think, against the Bears last week. Colts with the best offensive line in football, run game. I think they and the Bucs both with new pieces, coordinators, veteran quarterbacks. It's going to, week by week, it'll look ugly sometimes, but they're going to get better and better offensively. So, yeah, I like the Colts.
Bag or crap game here. Jags at Bengals. I tried to tell you not to take the Jags last week, Wager.
I did not put them on my contest thing, but I did. And I had the over, too, and that didn't work out. But
I'm not betting either way here with the Bengals, a field goal favorite against the Jags. You're going to bet on Joe Burrow, aren't you?
Yeah, I've kind of got a big man crush there. So I think, they're clicking. That offense has been good, except for the Chargers. Jags are going to bounce back and score more points. What's the total in that game?
48.5 is what I see. Man, that's a large number.
Well, did you see that the officials now aren't calling holding penalties so they can speed the game up, I guess, so people can't pass COVID back and forth. So that's why the totals are going way up. It kind of got released this week, and they showed a couple of highlights of guys just tackling guys and players running by them. So that's why there's 5 games in the 50s this week.
So to prevent COVID, we're going to speed the game up. And to do that, we're going to allow you to hug all over the guy and tackle him.
But we're not going to slow it down by throwing penalties and slow it down and making you huddle and stuff like that. So,
all right, Braves got runners on the corners with 1 out after Acuna grounds into a fielder's choice. Browns and boys. Cowboys are only a 4.5-point favorite. I say that only. They're 1-2.
I like the
Total
Browns.
56.
It doesn't seem like Baker, Austin, Texas, native, going back home.
Baker stinks.
He does, but they're going to be able to run the ball on. It's the best rushing attack, two-headed, Chubb and Hunt. Both are horrible against the spread. That's why over makes the most sense. Dallas is 3-8 against the spread. Can't stop anybody.
I'm
Browns
so immature.
6-12-1.
Two-headed Chubb is a Google search. I don't want to look up.
There's your fancy team, yeah.
Two-headed Chubb.
It was two-headed running back, Chubb and Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, two-headed Chubb. Is a 100-point NFL game comparable to 100, or an 80-point NFL game comparable to 100-point
I would
college?
say so.
Yeah, then this is it right here. So
Really? Okay. Take the over. Saints at Lions. Ugh.
I like Detroit. I mean,
kind of do too.
They won last week, so it's not. I don't think it's an overreaction to that. It's just a reaction of that New Orleans offense is really not explosive, and they don't threaten you down the field. And that's what Detroit's weakness is their cornerback and giving up deep passes and stuff. So I like it. I like Detroit there to kind of win that game straight up, really.
I am the self-proclaimed Dolphins whisperer. They play the Seahawks this week. And I'm going to say I can't bet against Russ. I mean, I'll take the Seahawks. And I love Fitzmagic going back and forth. Crap, good. He's due for a crap fest here. Although Seattle's defense kind of stinks.
They do. And then,
oh, God.
I mean.
But the Seahawks are going to Seahawks team total. That's my pick for this game.
Oh, I mean.
I don't know what it is.
Seahawks have scored, 38, 35, and 38 this year?
Yeah.
I mean, total starts with a 6.
You're good at gambling math, right?
Yes.
So, Seahawks minus 6.5 and a total of 54.5. So, what would that put their team total? What's Vegas saying?
30, 23, 31, 31, 24.
So, they would be like 31.5 probably is what they'll set it then.
Miami's 9-3 against the spread. They ended the year last year with that. They're 2-1 this year.
They're feisty, man.
They're 11-4. The last 15 is a dog. This is look at the run Seattle's had and who they played. Tough Falcons game. At the time,
at you. You're going Dolphins this week.
I lean plus the points. I think it's going to be.
You're always a week late, Wager. You got to get on them early.
I mean, it may be 45, 30, like the week 1 Vikings Lions. Now knowing that nobody's going to call a holding in these games. So,
but honestly, the NFL has turned into the Big 12 for a lot. I mean, you're going just go over for all these games, right?
Well, they adjusted pretty quick. I was trying to see what. So Seattle's got Minnesota and then they're off. But, I mean, Atlanta, New England, Dallas, it's a down spot. And New England or Miami's had 2 extra days to prepare. They're not going to stop Russ, but they're going to score and keep up with him. I want to watch this game, and I'm sure that some stupid Panthers game will be on. And it'll be blacked out, and I won't be able to watch this game.
I like that. Let's see. Yep, you're right. They're both on Fox.
Yeah.
Chargers at Bucks. Line is only 7.
I saw Godwin is going to be out again. That hamstring's kind of a problem there. I mean, Tampa was a little bit ugly last week against Denver. I think Bear will be better this week. So that was expected last week, but they played really well. He just turned the ball over 4 times, so he'll cut down on those.
That's
rookie. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can take Tampa in like 7 points as bad as they've kind of struggled a little bit offensively.
I can and I will against the Chargers.
Good luck.
Ravens at Washington. I do not want to see what Baltimore does to Washington on Sunday. Coming off that loss.
13. There's 2. That one and the Rams.
All right, take Washington.
No, I'm not taking Washington. I was on the Browns last week and still felt comfortable with it, even though they had to score 20 in the
They were
fourth,
losing in the third quarter to Washington.
Haskins isn't an NFL quarterback. He's just not. You tank for Trevor at this point, or whoever you get. I mean, but they've got it. It's just retooled. It's a bad offense.
He's awful. Also, in my Redskins friends text chat said that Chase Young wasn't playing, so I will not be watching the game this weekend.
So imagine the running game that they're going to have, and Lamar's going to throw because he couldn't throw.
Braves win! Braves win! Braves win! Braves win! Freddie Freeman dumps one into center, and Atlanta walks off. They had lost like 5 or 6 straight game ones. They have not. Their postseason series winless streak is almost old enough to drink at this point. It's like 19 years old. So the Braves win game 1 in 13 innings. All right, Vikings at Texans. Cardinals, Panthers. Sorry.
I like Cards to bounce back in that game. I mean, Panthers didn't play well enough to win, but got turnovers. It was probably Murray's last or worst game last week. Despite that, Kingsbury's 12-6-1 against the spread as a head coach. Carolina's 0-4-1 against the spread at home on a 2-8-1 run. I think it evens back out. Carolina will be a run the ball, and I like them to cover this one.
Chandler poo-pooing your comments here.
It's just I just read numbers. So I don't read numbers. There was no emotion.
He's just reading numbers.
There was no emotion in that.
He's reading numbers.
I didn't say anything about them being bad. I like them. Red zone is the issue. I saw Carolina's they were 1 of 6 last week. I think 3 of 10. I think eventually that will get worked out, but Arizona's been doing a really good job of defending in the red zone. Where was that? I put these numbers together. I need to be able to find them a little quicker. They've only allowed, in 13 trips to red zone, they've only allowed 4 touchdowns. So they're doing a little bend and break, and Carolina's struggling when they get in the red zone, probably because not having McCaffrey.
Kicked a lot of field goals last week.
Just newness. They'll get it worked out, and the Falcons will come to town. They'll be 4-4 in the red zone, and everything will be fine, and then they'll roll from there. But I think they struggle this week with the Cards bouncing back.
Look at this sad football game between two teams that had at least decent expectations. Vikings at Texans, both 0-3. I don't even see a line on this game. Oh, the Vikings, they shut down their facilities or whatever?
Well, because they played Tennessee, who had the COVID stuff, but I saw that they had testing today, and not a single Viking player has tested positive. So this one, I think, takes place on Sunday. The Tennessee-Pittsburgh game may get delayed to Monday or Tuesday. I don't know how you don't take the points with Vikings, because Houston's just I'm fading Houston all year long. So, and that's worked out so far. I'm 3-0 that way. And Vikings played really well last week. Houston can't stop the run, and Cook got going last week, and then Jefferson. I think I saw a stat that the Vikings, per Elias Sports, the Vikings were the first team to have a 175-plus rusher and 175-plus receiver last week in a game. Still lost, but they're going to score points, and I'm getting 4, so I'm taking that, and then O'Brien's going to be the first coach to get fired.
All right. Before your guy, Quinn?
Yeah, I mean, the Falcons aren't. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do anyways, just lose.
Okay. Anything Giants, Rams? Let's speed through these so we can circle back to your favorite place.
No.
Okay, no. Patriots, Chiefs.
It seems like a down spot for the Chiefs, right? Off Monday night, having to travel back, off a big win. Patriots getting 7, but I'm not betting against Mahomes and Andy Reid. I thought that somehow somebody knew something, and the Ravens were probably the good bet there. And Chiefs. When are the next time the Chiefs going to be a dog ever?
I remember saying that a couple weeks ago.
Not in the Super Bowl when they win this year. Dogs. I mean, everybody's playing for second as long as Mahomes stays healthy.
Bills at Raiders.
Over
53. Josh Allen.
Bills now 8-2-2 against the spread the last 12. Raiders aren't a good cover team, although they played really well. Man, Buffalo struggled in the red zone in week 1 and kind of thought that, well, maybe they're not good in the red zone. They've gone 7 of 7 in the last 2 weeks, 5 of 5 against the Rams. Almost blew out the game. What happened to the Bills' defense?
They're an offensive team now. Josh Allen has changed everything there in Buffalo.
They are. And Diggs and all the running backs and everything else. Raiders are on the look ahead to Kansas City, and I know the Bills are now a trendy AFC team.
John Gruden doesn't do look ahead.
Oh, if you're the Raiders, you look ahead to the Chiefs. There's no doubt about it. So that's why the Bills were 2.5. It's now the 3. So I kind of love the Bills because I think they're going to be looking ahead to the Raiders looking ahead to KC.
Do you credit the 49ers or the schedule makers for them being 2-1? Because they had 0 players, but they got to play back-to-back the Jets and the Giants.
They were actually pretty impressive. I mean, Mullins has played well every single time he's that he's gotten a chance and they can still run the ball.
He's what we want Jimmy G to be.
Yeah.
Nick Mullins.
He may be better than Jimmy G. He was better at Southern Miss than Jimmy G is right now. So they can run the ball. They play good defense. Ayuk played well. They're getting some skill guys back. If Kittle's healthy, Eagles are just done, right? When you settle for a tie in overtime.
Gross.
They've got no offensive guys around Wentz, and maybe time, just like Trubisky, to kind of throw on the towel on Wentz as well. I like San Francisco minus the 6.5. That's a bad trip for Philadelphia with nothing going well.
Potentially the game of the week. We don't know when it's going to be played. Steelers-Titans has been postponed. Hopefully we get it on Monday night, potentially Tuesday night. But you said you like the Steelers in this one?
I do. I mean, well, when it opened up, they were +1. Now I think they're -2 just because of the thinking that they're getting their normal prep in somehow, even though their facility's closed and Tennessee's not. I mean, Tomlin is a road dog. We've talked about 10-1-1 against the spread. I think they're the best defense. It'll be interesting to see if they can beat the Ravens, and maybe they can. And then they're the team that kind of goes up against Kansas City, kind of good defense, slow them down. So they're going to be able to run against them. Tennessee is 3-0, but they could easily have lost all 3 of those games. They're 0-3 against the spread. I think Pittsburgh's the better team. Pittsburgh will win that game. Now the distraction, they could be a 3-point favorite by the time it kicks off, if it kicks off like Tuesday afternoon or something.
And they only put the good teams on Monday night. Atlanta Falcons, Monday Night Football against Green Bay.
The good thing is we, as a Falcon fan, we're not going to be able to blow a fourth quarter lead.
You're going to be behind this time?
Yeah, there's no way that but the way the NFL is, you would think, unless Rodgers wasn't like insulted by the fact that they drafted a quarterback. So, I don't know. I mean, Green Bay will shut it down eventually. You know, they have to. If they're up by 20-something points. I mean, the Falcons secondary can't cover. They can't tackle. I don't know. Green Bay's averaging 45 points a game, right? They should not be like, to like exaggerate.
What are you saying right now?
Well, I was saying 45. If people were like, hey, he's exaggerating. They're averaging 41 points a game, and the Falcons are giving up 36 points a game. So I don't know if alternate team total over 42 for Green Bay.
All right, circling back, we got about a minute left. Your favorite picks of the week. You like over in the North Texas and Southern Miss.
Yep.
You like
over Browns Dallas.
Over Browns Dallas. You said one of your favorites of the week was FAU.
FAU minus 6.5.
Okay. You like over in ECU and Georgia State.
Yep. Yeah.
What else do you really like?
Over in the Mormon game. Over at BYU. La Tech.
Friday night.
Yeah. Any NFL game, since they don't call tackling anymore, so we can't pass along COVID to each other and we speed games up. So Miami, Seattle.
Over.
Could get to 60. Okay. Yeah. Very little defense is going to be playing that game because Seattle's without Adams and first round pick, and Miami struggles a little bit anyway. So there's going to be some fun, high scoring games that will be our reward for having to watch the Jets and the Broncos on Thursday night.
Well said. All right, wager. That was fun. Always enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we got out on time.
Glad the Braves won for you.
Braves win. Moving
Why
on.
not ours BI?
I know. Ours BI. Runs batted in.
Runs batted in. It's not run batted ends.
Run batted ends.
That's how you have to say it.
Doesn't sound right. I'm with you. Mike Mullis and I we were on that a couple years ago. Shirley, we'll take a time out, come back, and get ready for hour 3. Got Bryce Williams. We'll get his take on ECU UCF and look ahead to Georgia State. Also visit with the voice, Jeff Charles, who likes the Reds. I'll ask him about the baseball game and talk Pirate football as well. More to go on Pirate Radio Live. We're back after this.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's time to get back in the saddle with Rocking Horse Ranch. Join us Saturday, November 14th for an evening filled with games and prizes to support the reopening of the Rocking Horse Ranch Therapeutic Riding Program. Rocking Horse Ranch provides a fun and unique therapy program to our special needs, cancer, and veterans community. The horses miss their favorite students and can't wait to see them again soon. And Rocking Horse cannot do this without you. Join us November 14th to get back in the saddle or visit rhrnc.com for more information. Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water-soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Hey Pirate fans, this is head coach Mike Houston. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been taking care of our athletes here at East Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or if it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the folks who have been taking care of me and many of our fans in Pirate Nation, or visit them online at orthopedicseast.com. Go Pirates!
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Looking for your next career opportunity? How about some extra cash to help pay for school? Your locally owned and operated Dixon Foods McDonald's is hiring, and they would love to have you as part of the McFamily. They offer flexible hours, competitive pay, and financial support to pursue your education through McDonald's Archways to Opportunity program. Come join the family at McDonald's. Don't let this financial opportunity pass you by. Please visit DixonFoods.com to apply.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. For Greenville Auto World, cross from Hardee's at Bells Fork.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, keep your vehicle clean with the Pirates Cove Car Wash Fast Pass. All 3 Pirates Cove Car Wash locations are offering Fast Passes for only $9.99. for all new Fast Pass customers. You can visit their other locations in Greenville on 10th Street, Fire Tower Road, and Memorial Drive. Pirates Cove Car Wash, the ultimate car wash experience and the official car wash of ECU Athletics. And Clip, I've got another stat for you since you were kind of sitting on this little high of the Braves picking up a win.
The Braves win.
The Cincinnati Reds are the first team in Major League Baseball postseason history to have at least 11 hits and not score a run.
Hey, way to go, Reds. There's a consolation prize for you today. Braves win Game 1. They're back at it Thursday at noon. This dang noon slot again. So be watching it here in the Pirate Radio studios. Bryce Williams alongside for the ride. What's up, Bryce?
Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm well.
We will get your take on ECU UCF from last week.
All righty.
What did you see? And we'll talk about the game coming up against Georgia State. Might hear from Mike Houston as well. And we will hear from the voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles, get his thoughts on ECU and Georgia State. Also, Shirley, we got to open up the booty bag. What do you want to give away today?
Let's do Chico's today.
Chico's, shrimp taco, rice, and beans.
I need to get the family on that one. I say, call in.
What'd you say? You had somebody call her 11 last week.
Yeah,
right?
Dad a few weeks ago was 10 and Mom was 11 last week.
Trying to get in.
Like, dang.
All right, so be ready to call. And by the way, if you have not won this month, you're eligible. We'll reset it tomorrow, and everybody will be back eligible again because it'll be October 1st. All right, we will take a timeout, come back. Bryce Williams, Jeff Charles on the way on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 Cadillac Escalade and save over $13,000 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Hey guys, listen up. The next 30 seconds is very important because we have an announcement. Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop to make you look good and thoughtful. This is Ashley at Shimmer Boutique. We specialize in men's and women's apparel and also carry the biggest selection of local hats and jewelry. From Yetis to Hey Dudes, this is the place for you. Did I mention we also have free gift wrapping? Come check us out at our new location on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks. Shimmer is your one-stop shop for the whole family, and we will always make your shopping experience easy and fun.
This is Sam Jones inviting you to join us for lunch, dinner, or takeout at Sam Jones Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out fresh food cooked over wood every single day. That's our Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue, slow-cooked chicken, smoked turkey, and spare ribs. There are no freezers here. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I'll bet you'll be able to taste the difference in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. This is one man's opinion on the cutouts. Some thoughts are coming up next.
Let me tell you a thing or two about the people who don't compromise. For starters, they love a nice, cold Pepsi Zero Sugar. Why? Because it's delicious, it's refreshing, and it has zero sugar. How's that for not compromising? They're the sort of person that likes surf with their turf. Because who decided beef shouldn't have a buddy? And the drink with their feast? Yeah, they have a Pepsi Zero Sugar. The person who doesn't compromise loves a good golden doodle. All the golden retriever goodness with just a hint of doodle. No compromises there. Oh, and when they're bringing said golden doodle for a walk, they bring a Pepsi Zero Sugar. They're the kind of person jorts were made for. 50% jeans, 50% shorts, 100% the most comfortable thing that's ever graced your wardrobe. Not compromising never looked so good. So crack open a Pepsi Zero Sugar and taste what it's like to have it all. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar done right. That's what I like.
I mean, what really is the purpose of the cutouts in stadiums and arenas? We all know those aren't real people. I don't get it. The first time I saw cutouts was during the Korean baseball games on ESPN. I thought it looked dumb then, and I think it looks dumb now. At least the ones the NBA is using in Orlando are animated, and at first you might think that they are actually watching the game on TV and real people are sitting there. But the ones at the baseball games, they maybe put 30 or 40 of them behind home plate, and when the camera pans the stadium, you see thousands of empty seats and then just a couple little rows of cutouts. Yes, it really looks dumb. I would rather see huge canvas advertisements cover empty seats. We'll all be glad when things get back to some sense of normalcy. And hey, these cutouts, they can go straight to the dumpster. Come on back again next time and we'll visit inside the booth.
You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now back to the show.
Well, welcome back. If you're in the market for quality used vehicles, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. And remember, every purchase comes with a free bucket of fun. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. And Cliff, just give you a quick update on one of the other Major League Baseball games. Hunter Renfroe went yard, grand salami. The Rays now lead the Blue Jays in the bottom of the second inning, 7-0. And college football, there was a proposal that was laid forth that they were going to expand the college football playoff scenario from 4 to 8 teams. That proposal has been rejected.
That was my BYU proposal because I want to see them in.
Yeah.
And UCF and Cincinnati, of course, too. But all right, so the Rays putting it on the Blue Jays right now, trying to end that series quickly. The A's lead the White Sox 5-0, and the Marlins leading the Cubs 5-1. Once again, folks, the Marlins have been to the playoffs twice, and they've won the World Series twice. They do not lose playoff series, and they're about to go up 1-0 here against the Cubs, it appears. All right, let's visit with the voice, Jeff Charles. Bryce Williams here with us, too, inside the Pirate Radio studios. Jeff Charles on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, did you sit through that Braves-Reds marathon today?
Really strange, Cliff, that you would mention that. Since your Braves beat my Reds 1-0, I didn't sit through the whole thing, but I kept tuning in and off and on throughout the afternoon. You had to be a pretty dedicated baseball fan to sit there for 13 innings, a 5-hour game almost, and watch a nothing game. But I was peeking in from time to time, and I did see, unfortunately for the Reds, the 13th inning. You know, the Reds had the bases loaded in the top of the 13th, as you probably know, Cliff, and only had 1 out, and they could not score. And when that happened, you say to yourself, well, that's an opportunity that's just gone by the boards, and this is going to come back and bite them in the you-know-where. And guess what? Bottom half of the 13th inning, Braves were able to get a run, and Freddie Freeman got that base hit off of Amir Garrett. They went lefty-lefty, and so that's what you have to do. And Freddie Freeman just won that battle, and they won the game.
This is really strange as we watch games here in the Pirate Radio studios. Bryce, they were just showing an old clip of Sterling Marte getting hit playing against the Yankees, and then they went to live action, and he got hit up around the arm in like the same spot on the first pitch. It's almost weird, but the Marlins leading the Cubs right now 5-1. There are 4 games going on right now, Voice, as the Cardinals and Padres get underway. You got Yankees, Indians at 7, and then Dodgers, Brewers at 10 o'clock. We see this in Major League Baseball regular season quite a bit, but never in the postseason. This is like a March Madness for MLB postseason baseball, and it's not the same with no fans and everything, but it is kind of fun, Jeff, to flip around all these channels and have playoff baseball going on.
Well, it is, and of course, the play on the field is great. You've got the best teams playing with the best players. It's different, as you said, and it's a little harder for the average fan to stay up with a total picture of what's going on. Now, if you have just 1 or 2 favorite teams that you're following, it's okay, but, Cliff, for guys like you and me, we try and follow everything, and there's just so much baseball to try and consume and follow and try and make sense of. So it's different, just like football is different, baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it, it's all different. And we all long for the days when it was normal, and we all look forward to the days when we'll have some sense of normalcy again.
Jeff, let's talk Pirate football. I talked to your broadcast partner earlier in today's show, Kevin Monroe, and one thing I didn't ask him about that I'll ask you is about the start to the game for UCF offensively, and 4 straight false starts. And I was leaving the studio heading home for a little while, so I had you tuned in, and you kept it was false start, and then Marty, you throw it down. Well, Jeff, it's a false start again, and it just happened 4 times in a row. It was the weirdest thing to listen to, and had to be a weird thing to see with your own eyes.
Well, exactly right. I mean, I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing. It reminded me of what Coach Steve Logan used to always say: if you stay around long enough, you'll see a little bit of everything. And I've talked to a lot of people in the press box during the game and also after, and nobody can ever remember seeing a game start with 4 straight illegal procedure calls. It was crazy. I'm not exactly sure what was going on, but UCF had some issues, but they are so good, Cliff.
They got the first
down and overcome it.
Right.
And that's what they did because they are so talented. But it was a real strange start to the game this week.
Yeah, 1st and 30 got to, 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2 pretty quick, and they get the first down. They end up rolling up 51 points on the Pirates, 51-28 the final. Voice, what were some of your takeaways from ECU's first game?
Well, Cliff, it kind of went like I thought it was going to go, to be honest with you. I just thought the Pirates were going to have a real hard time slowing their offense down. Unfortunately, that's what happened. It didn't look like a good matchup on paper with a very young ECU defense against this UCF offense, which is so prolific, and unfortunately it played out that way. I think there were some good young players out there for ECU getting their feet wet that I think are going to get better on the defensive side of the ball offensively. I was really encouraged with what I saw from the young running backs, Keaton Mitchell and Raji Harris. Keaton really, from the get-go, looked pretty comfortable. I thought Raji looked like he was maybe a little uncomfortable at the start of the game, but as the game went on, I thought he found his stride a little bit better. So I think they've got 2 really good backs, only freshmen, as they can look to the future with those guys. I think play in the trenches, again, is going to be an issue this year, both the offensive and defensive sides of the line of scrimmage. I think we saw that this past week. Holton, you'd like for him to throw for a better percentage. He was under 50%. He was 14 of 29. He needs to do better than that. The guys need to get open, but again, like we talked last Wednesday, Cliff, this was a really, really good secondary that UCF has, and they think those 2 safeties are both going to play on Sundays, and you could see it was hard for Tyler Snead and Blake Prohl and C.J. Johnson to get much separation, and then Holton had a lot of pressure, so that's not a good recipe for success, and we saw that play out. So, you know, you play a game like this, you're a big underdog, and you do the best you can, and then you go back and you grade the tape and you make the corrections and get ready for this game coming up this Saturday, which is going to be a lot more of an even matchup from a talent standpoint. But this Georgia State team, they're no slouch, and they played Louisiana really tough, and as we all know, Louisiana's good, and we know what a good football program that is when you go back and remember when the Pirates played them in the New Orleans Bowl a number of years ago. I mean, that's a good program. They've got good athletes there, and Georgia State was right there with them, lost that game in overtime, and Georgia State, of course, goes to Tennessee last year and wins. They won 7 games last year. They went to a bowl game, so they're experienced. They've got 9 starters back on defense. They've got 8 starters back on offense. They do have a redshirt freshman quarterback who's getting his feet wet. But this is not going to be any kind of an easy game for the Pirates. They're going to have to go down there and play a really, really good football game to win this game this Saturday.
Visiting with the voice, Jeff Charles, Bryce Williams here in the Pirate Radio studios. We get Bryce's thoughts on the passing game coming up in just a moment. But, Jeff, before we let you go, I want to ask you, and it'll be a better question for you next week, but what is this Saturday going to be like for you? I mean, this will be your first time calling a game when you're not in the stadium, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, I've never done that before, so this will be a first clip for sure. It's going to be weird. You know, we're going to have to depend on that ESPNU feed, and hopefully that feed will be good, and we'll be able to follow the action, be able to follow the ball. Now, North Carolina State last week, Gary Hahn and his crew, they did not go to Blacksburg for the State Virginia Tech game, and I listened to some of that game last week, and if anybody could tell that it was not, you know, a live broadcast from the site, it would probably be me as long as I have been doing this. And I did not realize, and I did not pick up on the fact that they were in Raleigh broadcasting that game, and they were not in Blacksburg. Just like we're not going to be in Atlanta this week, we're going to be in Greenville. I did not know until I talked to my friend Mike Burnip, who does the color work on the Virginia Tech Network, the next day, and we usually get together and talk about the games. And he said, you know, Gary Hahn and Johnny Evans and all the guys from the Wolfpack Network, he said, they weren't here this weekend. And I said, really? I said, I listened to about half of the game, and I had no idea that they were in Raleigh and they weren't in Blacksburg. So I'm hoping that we can pull it off just as well as they did and it'll sound like we're there in Atlanta coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I know if anybody can get through it, it'll be you and Kevin Monroe for sure on the broadcast on the Pirates IMG Sports Network. Jeff, love having you in the studio for the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll do that again bright and early, 8 a.m. We'll be talking to you, and also you have an interview lined up for the Bud Light pregame tailgate, right?
Yeah, we really do, Clip. We'll have a special guest. He's Charlie Cobb. He is the athletics director at Georgia State, and if that name sounds familiar, it should to football fans in the state of North Carolina. Charlie played at North Carolina State. He was a really good player there. He was a second-team All-ACC center, and then he spent 9 years as the athletics director at Appalachian State before going to Georgia State as the athletics director. He's a really good guy. He's done a great job with that program, and we'll talk about all the exciting capital improvement projects they've got going on in Atlanta on their campus area downtown. It's amazing what they are building there with a football facility, of course, that has been completed. They're building a basketball arena, all Olympic sports village for all of their sports, and it's really exciting, and he's right there on the ground floor of a lot of it and planning it, and so I think you'll enjoy our interview with a North Carolina guy, Charlie Cobb, coming up on Saturday morning.
Looking forward to that. In the 8 o'clock hour on Saturday, Jeff Charles will be here in the studio. We'll be previewing the game with him as well on another big edition of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Jeff, thanks for joining us. As always, we'll talk to you Saturday.
Okay, Clip, see you Saturday.
There is the voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles, joining us on the Fixed NC live line. We've talked to Jeff. We've talked to Kevin Monroe today. Now let's talk to a former player for the Pirates, Bryce Williams. And Bryce, I will say, the score 51-28. I said 54-30. So that was pretty close.
Hey, that's pretty
with the
score.
I did not know how the game would get there, and I thought ECU would have a much better day passing.
Yeah.
Ehlers just with 215, threw an interception, did have 3 touchdowns. But the numbers that stuck out the most to me, and we'll talk about your tight ends in a moment, but C.J. Johnson, 2 catches. Blake Prohl, 2 catches. Tyler Snead, 2 catches.
Yeah.
Not good enough, Bryce, and you got to get those guys involved, and I think they will get involved much more this Saturday. But that was one thing that kind of stood out to me as a disappointment on Saturday.
For sure, yeah. Like you got your you named pretty much a lot of the playmakers. Unfortunately, not to have Tyler Snead and C.J. Johnson, have the games we typically saw last year. Definitely. You don't get your playmakers the ball. Typically, things don't turn out as well most of the time. But yeah, it was a tough game. I was able to watch some of the quarters, and then had to do some work on pressure wash the house. But I was listening to the voice on the radio, so I was able to keep me in tune with the game. But yeah, I mean, the score on our opening drive, 95 yards, I think it was. I mean, I said, well, heck, good deal.
That gave you some flashbacks to when you played, right?
I said, well, heck, let's keep this going each game. As far as scoring on the opening drive, that is. And then, obviously UCF, seeing how fast they moved the ball, it was very impressive, and get lined up for next play. I think one thing that obviously hurts is the coaches preach ball security. When you fumble the ball, 3 times,
3 in a row, right there,
3 times on your own behind and your 50. To a team like UCF, I mean, that's just asking for trouble. So that was real hard to watch. And then it was one play I saw. One of the tight ends, I think Holton threw a seam pass, and I think Jeremy Lewis, dropped it when he got hit. He tucked the ball, and then, you had possession, and then you're going to have a defender knock it out like that, and it's not like the helmet was on the ball or anything like that. So that was hard to watch. That was moving the chains. I think, and then the other fumble was he got a first down and then fumbled it, and, things like that just can't happen. And like I said, one thing, the coaches always iterate to us too is, ball security and things like that. So it was hard to see that.
UCF scores 51 points. They put up a ton of yards as well. Right. But after that third fumble, Bryce, to see the score still, 10-7, 13-7 within striking distance.
Yeah.
The defense, you remember the theme last week was stay in the fight?
Yeah.
The Mike Tyson analogy. Like, the defense did all they could that first quarter to stay in the fight.
Yeah, I was listening to that while I was pressure washing, and I heard, I think Jeff said, I guess not so much animosity towards defense, like offense. What the hell? What are you doing? Like we're busting our tail, getting stopping the 3 and outs of this very competitive team, the Knights, and then y'all are gonna come out and not move the chains and have us go right back out there and try just to keep going and going. So there's definitely got to be a balance there. Offense has got to get, not that they weren't giving a lot, but, just got to just do more and, save the defenses, their air and everything like that.
And UCF goes a million miles an hour, and we kind of saw that the remainder of the game, that they were able to put up points and score. Bryce played in some pretty good years at ECU. So, Bryce, you never really had to think about gaining confidence with victories because you guys were winning football games. But Mike Houston was asked about that this week, Shirley, cut 3. And how do you build confidence when you don't win? Is winning the only way to build confidence? And Mike Houston was asked about the confidence of his players.
Well, I think it's, going out and, you look up and it's 5.5 minutes to go in the half, and it was 13-7. It was 10-7 so much of the first half. If you could have had, if you could have, avoided those turnovers, if you could have gotten to the half like that, it would have done so much for confidence going into the half. When we watched the game with the players, I watched it with the linebackers and Coach Harrell Sunday afternoon, and, we had enough time to get to about that point before practice. And we cut it off, and I was like, the last shot was a scoreboard. I was like, what do you think? And Xavier was just like, it didn't feel like we were that close. And you're a 1-score game right there. So I do think getting over that confidence piece is a big factor, for our older guys, for our younger guys, it's getting the experience. So I just think having some positive results, game in, game out, series in, series out, having us be able to put it together, hopefully for a win, where you win a tight game and make plays down the stretch. I think all those things are critical to the development of our team.
Mike Houston there, and I'm going to equate it from a fan's perspective and then ask the player, but like the Braves today, that they win the game 1 of their playoff series. They've had success, but Bryce, they haven't won a playoff series since 2001. That's going on 20 years. So when they play in the playoffs, I just expect them to lose. Like being a Redskins fan, every Sunday you just get beat down so much, I expect them to lose. Like, it's got to be tough for these players. I mean, they're putting in all the work at practice and just have not seen the results go in their way. So that's something that they're going to have to snap themselves out of and pick up a win or two to get that confidence rolling.
For sure, and I guess the majority of these players have not had a winning season, have not felt like, had the feeling of going to a bowl game and winning games and things like that. And I think one thing that stuck out to me on Coach Houston's comment was, things don't, it's like, man, you're on the, during the game, and I've had several games like that where you're like, man, nothing's going right. We're so far behind. Nothing's clicking. And you look at it and it's 10-7,
and you're right there in it,
and you're like, wait a second, we get a score, we're up. So it's a matter of, like you said, keeping that positive mindset regardless if you're 3 and out, but the defense is making stops. And so each opportunity that the defense makes, to the 3 and outs, it's another, offense being like, all right, another boost. It's like, all right, we got another opportunity to make something happen, and that's big, I think, definitely positive. But, hopefully these guys can, click into that mindset where, if things aren't going right, but you look at the score and say, look, we're down 1 score, down, a field goal, whatever it is, and just to keep on pushing and be positive.
Yeah, and hopefully that confidence and the winning and that positivity can start this week when they take on Georgia State. It's a noon kickoff on ESPNU. We'll be with you 8 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Shirley, let's take a timeout. When we come back, a lot more with Bryce Williams. You want to open it up right now? Let's open it up right now. Alert Bryce's family members. Caller 12, 317-1250. Caller 12 is a winner. A shrimp taco, rice and beans to Chico's right here in downtown Greenville. My go-to.
Come on, Williams family.
When I go to Chico's, little chips and salsa in there with it. Put the chip in the shrimp taco, add a little crunch, a little texture.
Oh my gosh.
You like it?
Dude, their salsa I love their salsa. It is
addictive for sure. I mean, you can find yourself having to refill that a couple of times. All right, 317-1250. Caller 12's a winner. We're back with more after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an auto owner's independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with auto owner's insurance.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Let me tell you a thing or two about the people who don't compromise. For starters, they love a nice, cold Pepsi Zero Sugar. Why? Because it's delicious, it's refreshing, and it has zero sugar. How's that for not compromising? They're the sort of person that likes surf with their turf. Because who decided beef shouldn't have a buddy? And a drink with their feast? Yeah, they have a Pepsi Zero Sugar. The person who doesn't compromise loves a good golden doodle. All the golden retriever goodness with just a hint of doodle. No compromises there. Oh, and when they're bringing said golden doodle for a walk, they bring a Pepsi Zero Sugar. They're the kind of person jorts were made for. 50% jeans, 50% shorts, 100% the most comfortable thing that's ever graced your wardrobe. Not compromising never looked so good. So crack open a Pepsi Zero Sugar and taste what it's like to have it all. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar done right. That's what I like.
Hey Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
It's important to me that we're able to connect the past, the tradition of East Carolina football, our current roster, and the future of what this program is going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Taking a look at the stock market for today. The Dow was up 329 points and closed out at 27,781. The NASDAQ was ahead 82 at 11,167. And the S&P was up 27 at 3,363. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Congratulations to Daryl Lambert of Greenville, who picked up the gift certificate for Chico's. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's. Enjoy your favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Plus, they also have ice-cold cervezas, and Chico's famous margaritas are always available. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Shirley, we got another final. Cubs lose. They fall to the Marlins today, and the Marlins lead that series 1-0, 5-1. The final, they'll play game 2 tomorrow at Wrigley Field at 2 o'clock. Games going on right now. Oakland ahead of Chicago 5-0 as they head to the 7th. The Rays all over the Blue Jays 8-1, and the Cardinals an early lead 4-1 over the Padres. So that's what's going on in playoff baseball right now. Bryce Williams here as the former ECU tight end, breaking down what he saw and heard last week from ECU and UCF. And Bryce, what'd you make late in the game? It was kind of out of hand, and the Pirates went to the ground game and got those young running backs touches, Rajee Harris and Keaton Mitchell, and ended up putting up 244 rushing yards.
Yeah.
That's a great number, but again, like, the game was kind of over at that point. But I think Donnie Kirkpatrick and Mike Houston wanted to get the ground game some work, and we ended up seeing quite a bit of those young running backs. We saw Penix get 13 carries. Harris got 12 carries for the Pirates in his ECU debut. Keaton Mitchell got 8, and Chase Hayden in his ECU debut got 9. It was good to see Hayden bounce back, had a fumble on his first carry as a Pirate, which stinks, but Mike Houston goes back to him, and he's able to have 9 carries, 42 yards. So they got the running backs going a little bit, and maybe that's kind of like I called it like an extended spring game almost, because they didn't have a spring game. They wanted to see what their running game looked like against real competition, and got the backs going a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's great, to get the young backs, some game time experience, and trying to build their confidence by giving them a lot of looks and calling their number a lot, and to put up a number like that is pretty impressive for the young guys. And knowing how explosive ECU's passing game can be, and how explosive it is when things are clicking, and you have a strong running game as well. I mean, you're going to throw the defense off, and you can just open up a lot more opportunities when you have both aspects of the game being productive like that. So to know those young guys were, putting it in and, making plays is good to know.
And hopefully, like you said, moving forward, that pays some dividends in future games, that they are confident they can run the football. But for ECU, it's about Ehlers in the passing game, and we said it earlier, it's got to be better. 215 yards for Ehlers through the air. Did have 3 touchdowns. One of those on a quarterback-friendly touchdown where they do the jet sweep, and Ehlers throws it 2 inches to Snead, and he takes it in. And they had the interception in the end zone as well. But I do think this game against Georgia State, who they score a lot of points, they give up a lot of points. I'm expecting another shootout. I'm expecting the passing game to click on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So hopefully they can put everything together. And forgot to mention, obviously, it's not just the running backs that are making the run game strong. It's the offensive line. So, I think that was a questionable part of the team, that, people are, questioning how well we're going to be, and, knowing they can block like that and have the run game be productive is, good. So, like I said, hopefully everything's clicking this Saturday, and, the Pirates can pull out a win.
Shirley, let's hit cut 7 as we talk about the run game a little bit. What Mike Houston saw from Keaton Mitchell and Rajee Harris in their ECU debuts.
Well, I think anybody that watched the game sees that Rajee Harris and Keaton Mitchell belong. everybody understands why we've been so excited about him. I hate Raji had the long touchdown and run called back with a penalty because, first college touchdown, you always remember those moments. So, I think that both of them are going to be in the mix this week. I think that, we'll see how practice goes this week, but you're going to see both of them on Saturday.
All right, there is Mike Houston with a full stable of backfield right now with the Pirates, and we'll see this week, did anybody separate themselves, or will the carries continue to be pretty consistent among the 4 running backs that played? Donnie Kirkpatrick, we'll talk to him coming up later on this evening, and I'll ask him about the backfield and the passing game and everything in between. One thing on the passing game, and Bryce, you know this, you got to block for your quarterback. Your quarterback has to make a good throw. Your receiver has to get open, and your receiver has to make the catch. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, right? And separation or lack thereof may be an issue against UCF. And Mike Houston was asked about that, Shirley, cut 9, about the lack of separation. Was that an issue with the wide receivers on Saturday?
Well, I think that UCF obviously had, kind of a game plan for CJ coming into the game. And doing some over-under stuff on him. I'll tell you what, now 31, their nickel, he's a pretty special player. That was a very impressive performance in the way he was able to handle Tyler in the slot right there. And I think that that's why I said I'm impressed with them defensively because in the secondary, I thought they were much improved, and I thought they did a really good job of, playing our guys Saturday. We did have some issues getting some separation. But Audie, it's good to see him get a couple of big plays there in the passing game. Shane Calhoun, first college catch. But certainly we struggled a little bit there getting open Saturday.
Couple of names we have not brought up there yet, Audio Matosho and Shane Calhoun, who actually he played the most snaps, the majority of the snaps at tight end for ECU on Saturday, Bryce. And before we get to those two guys, I said last week that Tyler Snead was uncoverable. And sure enough, UCF has a stud slot corner waiting for him and locked him up. So that one's on me. I apologize for that. I think Snead's got a lot of big ball games ahead of him, and hopefully that starts this Saturday. But maybe, the brightest spot in the passing game was Audio Matosho. 3 catches, 56 yards. He was in the program last year, but got here late, and now is trying to, had to play catch up last year a little bit. Maybe he's settled in, and maybe he can be a big part of this offense.
Yeah, I heard his name quite a bit. So that's nice to kind of have someone come out of the shadows, I guess you could say, making plays. I mean, to add him to the playmaker position at receiver, will just only benefit the team even more. And then hearing Coach Houston talk about separation, I mean, that's obviously big. I mean, most of the time you're not going to be the fastest or the quickest, but you got to learn, to close in on the DB's cushion and everything like that, step on his toes and be able to, shift your body weight and things like that to, make the throws easier for, Holton and whatever quarterback it may be. Because if you can't get open, then obviously nothing's going to come of it. So.
Shane Calhoun, 1 catch, 14 yards. Now, Ehlers only had 14 completions, a very low number for him. And Jeremy Lewis had, they could have called that a catch fumble. Perhaps it was called incomplete. But just 1 catch from the tight end position. Calhoun, the one for 14. And then we'll see moving forward, Bryce, if that's something they go to a little more.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, hopefully, whether it's Shane, Zach, Jeremy, let's get that, I'd love to see the tight ends, be more involved in the game, but look, the coaches aren't going to give the opportunity if they're not making the plays. So those guys got to step up, first in practice, when they do one-on-one, things like that, make plays and, have the coaches have their confidence and to be able to trust them and, be able to call their numbers. So, if we can get the tight ends, involved in it, on top of all the receivers we have in the run game, I mean, the offense will be doing great.
And I believe Bird is a little behind from missing time this offseason. So maybe he's playing catch-up right now behind Calhoun and behind Lewis. But for Calhoun to play all those snaps in his first game. Yeah. And again, I think Pirate fans need to realize like how young and inexperienced this team is across the board.
Oh, for sure.
And it is a work in progress, and you're not going to see the final product on the field for Mike Houston's football team at ECU this year, or this week especially. So a lot of guys getting their first time, their first starts, and their first major time in D1 football.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I definitely wasn't the player I was back in 2013 than what I was in 2015. Obviously, with game experience, you build confidence. You know how to, just your natural reaction to the game improve significantly. Your confidence, builds. So, I mean, we can't expect, too much from these young guys in the first, their first snap of the season. So, hopefully, as these young guys get this experience early on towards the end of the season, middle of the season, hope it's built a lot and they can make some plays.
And Bryce, one thing you did have when you were kind of coming into your, first snaps as an ECU Pirate, you had some veterans around you that had been there a while, and that's got to help bring you along. And you hope that Holt Nailers and CJ and Prohl and guys like that, Snead, that have been around Penix, can bring the younger guys along and kind of all form as one on the offensive side, because you were helped out by some pretty good players around you, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Obviously my position group was receivers. I was really the only tight end, but watching Justin Hardy play, Zay play, even though Zay was younger, he was the great player, and you try and pull, just see how their game is. You obviously can't mimic the same type of play they do, but just certain things with routes, what they do with setting things up, is important. So these young guys need to soak up, all they can from these veteran guys, and that can only help them.
Talking to Bryce Williams, tell you what, Shirley, let's take a time out. We'll come back. We'll get Bryce's prediction for Saturday, ECU Georgia State. Bryce has been studying Georgia State all week.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about the Panthers either, Bryce. I got to be honest with you. I know that they're 0-1. They lost to a ranked Louisiana team in overtime. I know they're pretty good. I know it's going to be a test for the Pirates, I can tell you that. We'll get the prediction. We'll get the Pirate Radio Outdoors for this week.
Oh, yeah.
What did Bryce do since we last talked to him? We'll talk about that and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Did you know your small change can make a difference? The next time you visit McDonald's, please consider rounding up for the Ronald McDonald House. Your change adds up and can help many folks in Eastern North Carolina. Just $10 can provide a free night stay for families with sick children here in Eastern North Carolina and across the state. Just ask your cashier at checkout or choose to round up for RMHC when ordering through the McDonald's app. Thank you for visiting your local McDonald's owned by Dixon Foods and for your support of the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina. Humana is proud to serve veterans. If you've recently turned 65 or become Medicare eligible, Humana would be proud to help you with your Medicare decisions or any questions that may arise. Let an agent assist you now to determine which Humana Medicare plan may best serve you. Humana can teach you about health plans, which will provide you with the access to products and programs to help support a healthy life. Humana is proud to be the National Medicare Advantage Plan provider to the veterans of foreign wars.
This is Denise Walker. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
What's the big deal?
Where can you get pizza, bread twists, specialty chicken, and more for just $5.99 each?
Is it at Domino's?
He hands off hand-tossed pizza and a marble cookie brownie. He's going! There's a lot of variety on the radio and at Domino's too, where you can
mix and match 2 or more. $5.99 each at Domino's.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza, bone-in wings, and bread bowls will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685842. Equal housing lender.
May 2020. A riot erupts in downtown Greenville. Small businesses are looted. The county courthouse windows are smashed. American flags are torn down and burned. Liberal State House candidate Brian Farkas refused to condemn the violence. Instead, Farkas attacked our police by calling for a radical statewide oversight committee that would bypass our local elected sheriff and district attorney. Farkas even took a $5,400 donation from a group which explicitly seeks to defund our local police at a time when we need them most. State Representative Dr. Perrin Jones has taken a different approach. He's working with Democrats and Republicans in Pitt County to institute meaningful reforms that protect victims of crime and the rule of law, all while honoring those who put their lives on the line for us every day.
I'm Dr. Perrin Jones, and I'll stand up for our boys here in Pitt County and across North Carolina.
Dr. Perrin Jones for State House, paid for by supporters of Perrin Jones.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
This is Mike Houston, head football coach at East Carolina University, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Live well, move more, and hurt less with Kinetic Physical Therapy. If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has national certified therapists for physical, occupational, speech, and massage therapy, all in a state-of-the-art facility on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Visit kineticptgreenville.com for more information. And as we head back into the show clip, I just saw a tweet from profootballtalk.com. We had been discussing earlier about the Steelers-Titans game, that it potentially could be postponed to Monday or Tuesday night. ProFootballTalk.com is reporting that CBS television crews have been notified that they will be working on Monday night.
All right.
So
there you go.
That's what we're seeing. We don't have a time yet, but that's what it seems to be leaning in that direction.
This is going to be one of those weird, like, there's 2 games going on Monday night. There's the game on ESPN, and then there's that game, and we can't watch it. Like, I guess unless you're in the local market, or maybe if you have the Sunday ticket. But it's not going to be nationally televised, I don't think.
I hadn't seen anything about, how it's going to be televised as far as nationally.
I think it's going to be treated as like a regional game. Like if it would have been in your area, you'll watch it. If not, you can't.
Well,
that's what I think. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I could be wrong on that. I was hoping it would be a Tuesday nighter. I saw today, and if you're going to sports trivia at AJ's tonight, tune in. But the last time a Tuesday night NFL game was played, it was in Minnesota. And let's see, you were probably a little young, Chandler, but do you remember this guy played for the Panthers for a while and was a quarterback and a special teams guy? Does that make any sense to you? Do you remember?
Oh, the guy from Appalachian State?
No, not Armani Edwards. This guy was from...
What year are we talking about?
I think it was 2010. 2010. It was Joe Webb. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, UAB guy.
UAB. I was trying to think of where he's from. Joe Webb and the Vikings beat Mike Vick and the Eagles.
Joe Webb.
Joe Webb was filling in for Brett Favre on that night. That was the last time there was a Tuesday night NFL game.
I'm upset that I didn't get that.
I gave you that was a decent clue, right? Because he was like a third string quarterback, But he also played receiver.
Oh, yeah. He made
teams.
a lot of tackles on special teams.
Yeah, he was a football player.
And I also remember him visiting Dowdy Ficklen Stadium as a Blazer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Back in the day. All right, so well, Shirley, that's a good note. I hope they can get that game in because that's one of the games of the week, Tennessee and Pittsburgh. Bryce, as a guy that almost made it to NFL Sundays, do you watch pro football or is it? I
don't really watch it anymore.
You don't really have a team, or
no? I don't have a team. I mean, I really get just most of my updates and how things are going from some of the players, some of the guys I know from former teams on their Instagram and things like that. So, no, I don't.
Do you have any? You got old ECU buddies, obviously, from your playing days here. Do you have anybody that you've stayed connected with from your NFL time at all?
Here and there, just some messages back and forth. Like Tyler Higbee when I was with the Rams, that tight end.
He's coming into his own quite well.
Yeah, he's doing well. John Wofford, the quarterback from Wake Forest, every now and then. He was with the Hot Shots whenever I was, so him and I became buddies, and it's about all I have. I know there's more, but that's about all I can think of at the moment. But here and there, we stay in contact a little bit.
And boy, we got a doozy for you on Thursday night. The 0-3 Jets with everybody injured versus the 0-3 Broncos with everybody injured. That is an ugly, ugly Thursday night football game. But we'll have it for you right here on Pirate Radio. Tune in, folks. Knock yourselves out. All right, Shirley, let's get to it. Hit the music. It is time for Pirate Radio Outdoors with Bryce Williams. We find out what was going on the boat, in the woods, on the stand, on the plains.
Yeah.
I don't know, wherever he was. Bryce, what was going on?
Man, not in the woods yet. I've been on the boat. I was actually fortunate enough to go 2 times last week, Thursday and Saturday. No, Sunday.
Did you have a competition, a tournament?
Oh, I didn't. Oh, my bad. No, I didn't end up going to the beach. I ended up staying here and just going trout fishing on my boat. So I was able to go Thursday and then Sunday morning. And man, the trout are firing up, and it's not even October yet or the fall. Had 2 good days. Easily had a 2-man limit. So that's 8 total trout in the boat both mornings. But we caught several. Sunday morning was really good. I stuck with the same lure the whole morning, so that's always nice when you know what they're biting. I probably caught close to about a few hours, probably close to like 20 trout and stuff, so nothing too crazy yet, but a lot of them were keepers. 14 inches is keepers, so a lot of them were keepers. I was able to cull some, so
able to what?
Cull, C-U-L-L.
What's that mean?
It's almost like all right, so say I got 4 15-inch trout in there and I catch a 17, I'm gonna throw one of them out. So just like taking the weakest linked out and throwing him back and putting the other. So was able to do that. So whenever you're able to do that, you're like, I have a good day. So both mornings were great. Sunday morning was super foggy. I couldn't see 20 feet in front of my boat, so it was a little eerie. But so it was a great time, and I was hoping to go Thursday with Anna's grandpa, which is tomorrow, but I figured I can't take three Thursdays off in a row, so so I didn't do that. But I think my dad is coming down. Mom and dad are coming down Friday, so I hope we're gonna try and go fishing Saturday morning for a little bit and see if we can get on some trout. So
all right,
it's on like Donkey Kong.
The trout daddy, Bryce Williams.
Try
Chandler. Do you have your deer corn ready and your stand up?
I'm ashamed. I don't have any personal property to hunt on, so I can't prep anybody. So
That's a problem.
I'm always looking for invites. So if you're out there,
you heard it here, folks. If you're looking to deer hunt with a former tight end from ECU, he's right here.
And I'm pretty simple. I don't ask for a huge buck. I'll be more than glad to shoot a doe. So until I get my own hunting land, I'm just trying to mooch. Respectfully mooch.
The big mooch.
I won't ask. I'll just hope to get asked.
All right, we got a football prediction, an insult to me, and a Pirate Radio Outdoors question on Facebook Live we'll get to. Scott says, Bryce, do you use a fly rod while trout fishing?
Oh, no, I do not. I just use a spinning reel.
Okay. John says, what do you recommend for trout fishing in a stocked pond in the mountains?
Oh, we're talking about 2 different types of trout.
Okay.
That's I'm fishing saltwater trout, coastal trout. Those are mountain trout, but
mountain trout.
I guess you could use little. One time when I went up there, I used like really, really tiny grub, like worms with a really small hook and a split shot. So that's the best I could give them there.
It is funny how your voice changes when you talk football and when you talk this. Because you just get, I love it. I'm sorry, you weren't finished.
No, you're fine. But if you want to go trout fishing here, coastal trout, then the mirror lure is obviously great, or your soft plastics and thing.
Yeah.
So if he's wanting to do that, but stock pond, they might bite a worm and a hook.
About anything?
Well, I think. Or yeah.
All right, Chandler. Any more questions for you before we move on?
No, but a little interesting tidbit. I know somebody who's a big trout fisherman, and it would be former Carolina Panther Luke Kuechly.
Oh, yeah?
He's big on that. There's actually a video on YouTube. You might can look it up. He does it with his nephews and his uncle and then his dad. So he's a big-time fisherman.
He's like mountain trout or like speckled trout?
No, he does it, I think, mountain trout. That's what made me think of it is when you talk about mountain trout. Yeah. So
they stock the ponds at the Walt Disney for like where they had the NBA bubble, and so the guys would pass time fishing out there. And like for some, it was like they just made it super easy for them. But apparently, there were some hardcore fishermen in there. I'm trying to think of who it was. Maybe C.J. McCollum or one of them's like a real deal fisherman dude. But anyway, that was one thing to do. All right, let's see. Okay, so Matt says it looks like Bryce is on the show with a kid wearing a fake mustache. This is real.
I would have to wear the fake mustache because I cannot grow a mustache.
And also, Matt has a prediction. We should talk about this as we wrap it up. Tyler Snead takes one to the house on a return this week.
Ooh.
What you think, Bryce?
No,
get a little special teams going, baby.
Hey, you score on special teams. That's a huge momentum swing. So I would love to see it happen. I mean, we've seen him have some huge returns, so I'm not against it.
Were you on the team when Lance Ray took one to the house?
I was.
Okay.
That was Appalachian State.
2012.
Yeah. Oh, dang. So
you were here, but
I was on the team. I wasn't on the field, though.
Yeah. And then Snead had one last year.
He had one against South Florida last year.
Yeah.
Opening kickoff.
That was the first since Lance Ray.
And then we had one against BYU, but it was a punt block.
At BYU, that was... Gosh.
But we haven't had a punt return for a touchdown in many
probably
years.
since the Dwayne Harris days.
He never took one. It was actually Travis Williams, a cornerback, I believe, that had the last one.
Sure is.
Wow. That would be great.
We need special teams to step up this week.
Yeah,
Bryce, what's your score? ECU, Georgia State?
Well, let's see. We'll clip with some helpful past statistics.
I gave you a few stats to look at.
So, they obviously play well at home. They've won 5 games last year at home and lost 1 game to App State.
Correct.
So, but I think it's a pretty even matched game. Both teams can score points. We've seen that. So I think if everything's on fire, I'm obviously going to go with the Pirates with the win, 38-31.
38-31.
So a little bit of nail biter, tight game, keep it interesting. So that's what I got.
Georgia State kicks a field goal late, and then Snead with a game-winning touchdown return on the kickoff. How about that? Matt and Bryce will be right. All right, we will see you Thursday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Could always send me all your wonderful thoughts on Twitter, too, at Zach Gelb, ZACHGELB, on our network's account, at CBS Sports Radio. As always, we're coming to you live from the Rocket Mortgage